From the most trusted name in the Columbia Basin comes Callahan Gravel. You'll love Callahan's rock-solid product. Multiple applications include driveways, roads, stackyards, and landscaping. A pothole's worst nightmare. Call Callahan Gravel at 346-2208 to get rocked.
I'm Robbie Johnson. I'm 26 years old.
I'm Valerie Johnson, and I'm 24 years old.
And we are Napa customers. This is my 89 Ford Bronco.
This is my 68 Ford Mustang. She's my baby, and I don't let him drive it.
Nope, she doesn't. At Napa, we buy fluids, brakes, batteries,
oil filters, wipers, brake lights. I buy it all at Napa.
Let's show them the motorcycles. I don't think people are aware of the basics Napa carries for motorcycles. Spark plugs, fluids, batteries.
Napa's the one.
My name's Ron Robertson. I've been a Napa customer for about 40 years. Most of the things that I do are oil and air filter changes. Your engine's going to last a lot longer if you do the maintenance on it. This is my wife's 91 Cougar. This is our 98 Honda, 144,000 miles on it. This is our yard tractor. We've had it about 10, 12 years. I've always had good success with Napa products. They always have the parts that I need. Napa's the one. They got the good stuff.
Napa, get the good stuff.
Hard work, determination, team spirit. These are all qualities that put a winning team on the field, and the folks at Saddle Mountain Supply know something about a winning team. For over 30 years, Saddle Mountain Supply has worked hard to provide the highest level of service to the local community. They are determined to offer the best quality products at competitive prices, and they boast one of the top teams in the ag industry, ready to offer a helping hand or timely assistance. From bookwork to fieldwork, from accurate applications to reliable recommendations, Saddle Mountain Supply is committed to using the latest in technology and training to attend all your agronomic needs. Check out our website at www.performanceag.com for the latest in industry trends and market prices. Saddle Mountain Supply at performanceag.com. Quality you can count on, performance you can plan on. Welcome to Lions Field in Moses Lake, Washington. We are the Royal Broadcast team bringing you this broadcast. We're going to do our very best to be as impartial and fair as we bring this broadcast to you on the NFHS network. This is the Dairy Farmers of Washington Les Schwab official State 1A semifinal playoff game.
Yeah, looking forward to a great day. This game first between Royal and Colville, and then right after this game will be Newport and Linden Christian on the very same field, scheduled for a 4 o'clock kickoff. So anybody that's interested in 1A football, Moses Lake is the place to be today. Absolutely, for sure.
Well, we've got lots of information to go. There's about 12 minutes left to go on the pregame clock. Mike's got some information on both these teams that will help us get to know them a little bit better before this contest gets underway.
Yeah. Both these squads are great squads and deserve to be here, absolutely. The Knights were the number 1 seed coming into the tournament. The top 16 teams make it in. Seeding committee this year for the first time seeds those teams 1 through 16. The Knights were the number 1 seed, and Colville Indians the number 5 seed.
I can't remember now.
Number 5 seed. And so, it's appropriate without major upsets that these two teams face each other in the semifinal game. Not necessarily so true on the other side of the bracket, but we'll talk about that later as the game goes on. For the Royal Knights, undefeated this year, undefeated for quite a while.
Right.
And great team this year, winning the SCAC East and earning that number 1 seed. And just the talent on this team, I guess one way to capture a sense for the talent on this team is to look for the SCAC East All-League selections and see how that list is just littered with Royal Knights. Quarterback Sawyer Jenks, first-team offense, along with Alonzo Hernandez at running back, Angel Farias, Gage Christensen at receiver, Logan Gomez, Micah Albert as offensive lineman, and the return specialist, Angel Farias, on the first team. So of the total first-team slots in the SCAC East, there's 15 of them, and the Knights garnered 7 of those nods And so that says a lot about the offense. The defense, not much different. 8 out of 12 selections to first-team defense all went to the Knights. That's Javier Hutron and Logan Gomez on the defensive line. Both linebackers, Alonzo Hernandez and Jack Diaz, the middle linebackers, get recognized, along with Angel Farias, Lorenzo Myrick, Tyler Allred, and Carter Dorsing, an outside linebacker who had his season end a few weeks ago with a lower leg injury. He won't be playing in the game today. But 17 Knights recognized total in the all-league selections. And they get here playing through the bracket pretty flawlessly to this point. They were matched up with the 16 seed Riverside, who got into the tournament because they upset previously undefeated OMAC. They win that game 41-0. Not to say that Riverside didn't play hard. It was a physical game, but the Knights were able to come out with a convincing win. Then they moved on to play Mount Baker. That game was also in Royal City. Mount Baker was the 48-7 winner over Montesano in the opening round, and they came in and played a hard game against the Knights. It was actually 13-6 at one point, and then the Knights reeled off a few touchdowns there and ended up winning 55-6, which brings them here to this semifinal game. Last week against Mount Baker, the Knights racked up 472 yards of total offense on 71 plays, 263 passing yards, 209 rushing yards, so a good balance there, while giving up 210 total yards to Mount Baker, but again, only one touchdown, and the extra point was blocked. So good, strong showing coming in on a high, playing well, probably peaking at the right time. Sawyer Jinks, the leader at quarterback, completed over 60% of his passes. This is a statistic that is going to be rare across the state no matter who you're looking at. He's got 33 passing touchdowns against just 3 interceptions, so an 11-to-1 ratio, pretty hard to top.
Yeah, and I think 2 of those interceptions have just come in the last couple of weeks, too. So
Right.
It was just 1 interception for a long, long time.
Yeah, only been sacked 5 times. That's a big credit to the offensive line, and he's at 2,350 yards of total passing. Alonzo Hernandez at running back is nearly 1,500 yards on the season. He's averaging about 9 yards per carry, and he has scored 31 touchdowns on the ground. Second leading rusher, Tucker Jeanette, was out the last 2 weeks, but he's back. He's a 444-yard rusher on the season with 7 touchdowns. Receiving core for the Knights, Angel Farias, the leader. He's got a little over 900 yards receiving on 44 receptions and 12 touchdowns. Gage Christensen in the slot, 453 yards receiving, 7 touchdowns. And another one that we'll talk about, Owen Ellis from the tight end position. Doesn't have a ton of catches and yardage, but he's got 4 touchdowns for the Knights. So overall, the Knights have accumulated over 5,000 total yards of offense while allowing their opponents just barely over 1,000, limiting opponents to under 2 yards per carry on rushing plays and a completion rate of only about 35%. So strong, stout defense for the Knights as well. They've only given up 34 points total all year. One of those was a special teams kickoff return, so the actual offense has given up 3 touchdowns, 2 passing, 1 rushing, and then they've also given up 2 field goals. Anything else you want to add?
Oh, well, I would say maybe we should touch a little bit on Colville's path to getting here and a little bit about some of their standout players.
Absolutely. Again, if you look at the Northeast A All-League, you also have a number of Colville Indians, starting with Coach of the Year, Randy Cornwell. I was able to talk to him earlier in the week. It was a good conversation. He's excited about this matchup and has every bit of confidence in his crew, as he should. Offensive MVP in the Northeast A was John Knight. He's the quarterback and safety for Colville, a 3-year starter and also a state champion wrestler last year. So a guy who's going to be hard to fluster. He's seen it all. Running back Jacob Larson, wide receiver Chase Kanamu, offensive lineman Jacob Newsom and Michael Fitzsimmons are first-team offensive players in the Northeast A for the Colville Indians. First-team defense, defensive lineman Jory Dotz, linebacker Michael Fitzsimmons, and also linebacker Ben Panabaker, along with defensive back Chase Kanamu. So, a ton of guys represented there, and for good reason. They get to this game with a 9-2 record, but that's a little deceiving because those 2 losses were the first 2 weeks of the season. They started out 0-2 against some stiff competition. They played up and played 2A Cheney, and then they played Meridian at a neutral site in near Leavenworth, and they were missing 2 starting linemen and a third one that wasn't 100%. Ever since those guys got back and they got healthy, they've been on a tear, and they've gone 9-0 coming into this game. To get to the state playoffs, they were the number 1 seed out of the Northeast A. They were undefeated in that league, and they faced off against a team that the Royal fans are very familiar with in the first round, the Connell Eagles. They dispatched the Connell Eagles 48-7. Interestingly enough, similar score to what between Royal and Connell when they played during the regular season. And then they had a rematch against that Meridian team that beat them in week 2, and they had to make the trip all the way over to the Meridian side of things, about a 7-hour bus ride, and ended up winning that game 42-22. So they had a real strong showing there. It was close at halftime, and then they spread it out a little bit in the second half, and then they make their way to the semifinals today, find themselves playing the number 1 seeded Royal Knights.
Captains have been to midfield. We'll talk about that after the national anthem.
No problem. Bugs? No problem. Nasty road salt? No problem. Splash and Dash can handle it all. Our amazing features include undercarriage wash, hot wax, clear coat protectant, and 24/7 service. Our floor heat and automatic doors keep us open even on the coldest and snowiest of days. And to top it all off, unlike the nights, our vacuums suck. We know the road to the dome is a dirty one. Let Splash and Dash be a part of your game plan. Follow us on Facebook at Splash and Dash Car and Truck Wash for special promotional offers. Locally owned and operated, we truly care about our customers.
Your day means getting from point A to point B, as in bank or ballet. G for gym, W for work. When what you drive needs tires or service, get to Point S, Tire and Auto, a trusted neighbor with the right tires for how and where you drive, and certified techs to take care of what you drive. So you get to all the points in your day and home again safely. Get to the point. Point S Tire and Auto Service. Expert service guaranteed.
Hey guys, Micah Chen here from Cascadia Preps. Looking for the best coverage of high school football? Cascadia Preps is your #1 stop for all things high school football, team rankings, game analysis, and weekly podcasts from around the state. Visit us today at cascadiapreps.com.
We'll listen in as they announce the Colville Indians.
Number 16, Dakota Morrison. Number 21, Logan Highborn. Number 22, Chase Hildebrand. Number 25, Grant Nicholson.
We got strict instructions on how you say that name. It's Michaelism.
Michaelism. We may get it wrong once or twice, but at least we knew how it was supposed to be said the first
Number
time.
30, Jacob Larson.
Jacob Larson, the guy that makes things go offensively as a running back for the Indians. Very slick, hard to tackle, great balance. Coaches have talked about how he seems to do something every game that just amazes them.
Number 35, Carson Long. Number 44, Paul Skirko. Number 50, Adam Flainer. Number 51, Hunter Theraldson. Number 52, Ben Panabaker. Number 56, Jacob Newsom. Number 58, Cameron Knight. Number 60, Chris Nussbaum. Number 63, Michael Fitzsimmons. Number 66, Jory Dotz. Number 70, Justin Finley. Number 71, Kevin Powers. Number 73, Connor Nielsen. Number 75, Lane Pierce. Number 79, Kenny Quayle. Number 80, Brennan Johnson. And finally, let's meet the Royal Knights. Number 4, Luke Bergeson.
Great crowds for both teams, both Eastern Washington teams. So Moses Lake not a hard place to find for either one of them. And both fan bases pretty excited for this contest.
Daryl Bergeson. Number 7, Sawyer Jakes. Number 8, Lorenzo Myrick. Number 9, Gage Christensen. Number 10, Gage Jenks. Number 11, Aldo Farias. Number 13, Cooper Christensen. Number 15, Gunnar Livingston. Number 16, Tyler Allred. Number 18, Caleb Christensen. Number 20, Osvaldo Guerrero. Number 21, Justin Smith. Number 22, Avery Ellis. Number 23, Lane Smith. Number 24, Eric Myrick. Number 25, Carter Dorsey. Number 27, Tucker Jeanette. Number 31, Kevin Reyes. Number 34, Alonzo Hernandez-Ray. Number 35, Andon Allred. Number 40, Cale Jenks. Number 43, Jack Diaz. Number 44, J.C. Worsham. Number 46, Elliot DeLay. Number 50, Andres Incisco. Number 50, Javier Hutron. Number 51, Jose Mamalejo. Number 52, Adrian Banda. Number 52, Jose Medina. Number 53, Jacob Jocelyn. Number 53, Carlos Garcia. Number 54, Clayton Conrad. Number 55, Martel Flores. Number 56, Eddie Jimenez. Number 57, Trent Freeman. Number 58, Ethan Small. Number 59, Marcus Espino. Number 61, Tony Rodriguez. Number 63, Hunter Booth. Number 64, Michael Perez. Number 65, Deanna Avalos. Number 66, Manny Sandoval. Number 67, Ryder Eilers. Number 72, Nick Santillan. Number 73, Micah Albert. Number 75, Logan Gomez Rios. Number 76, Leighton Bateman. Number 77, Chase Jeanette. Number 78, Jackson Bateman. Number 79, Edgar Hernandez. Number 81, Gunnar Anderson. Number 82, Jace Allred. Number 84, Diego Santillan. Number 86, Tyler Pierce. And Piercy, and number 87, Owen Ellis.
Now we got them all in.
Yeah, somebody get that man a drink of water. That's a lot of names he's had to go through, and the game hasn't even started yet.
They'll meet at the 50-yard line and shake it up, and this game will get underway shortly.
Let's talk a little bit
about... The captains did get to midfield, and we couldn't see exactly whether who won or lost the toss, but the Colville Indians will receive the ball going, I guess we'll call it, into the sun from our right to left. We do have an audio broadcast going on simultaneously, so if we sound like we're being a little over descriptive, that's the reason.
Well, not everybody, even people that see the video, aren't always looking at it the whole time. So we'll try to do our best, the best that we can. There's been a lot of talk about this winning streak that the Knights are on, and a lot of talk about the fact that the last team to beat Royal was the Colville Indians. That was in 2014 in the quarterfinals. Colville came out 28-10.
Right here on this field.
Right here on this field. What I guess the full story isn't always told. The fact is that the Knights and the Indians have faced each other two other
times
since.
Yeah.
Once in Royal in the quarterfinals. Both times were in the quarterfinals. 2015 in that one was in Royal, I believe.
Yeah, the very following year.
And then 2016 at Joe Albee Stadium. This will be the fourth time that the Indians and the Knights have met in the state playoffs since the Indians moved up to the 1A classification in the 2014 year. So this will be the fourth out of 5 years that they've been in the 1A classification that these teams have faced each other.
Deep for the Indians is going to be number 30, Jacob Larson, and number 11, Chase Kanamu. Kicking off for the Knights, number 20, Osvaldo Guerrero.
Kanamu, number 11, is their speed guy. Coach Cornwell talked to me about how fast he is, fastest guy on the team. And they love to get the ball to him in open space, whether it's on this kickoff return or in the course of the offensive flow.
And this semifinal game is underway with a high short kick. Going to take it right about the 27-yard line. He's met immediately by number 34, Alonzo Hernandez, swallowing up Chase Kanamu. So they'll have the ball to start this first possession of theirs it's going to mark it right on the 30-yard line. First and 10 for the Indians. Some of the standout players on offense for the Indians, Mike.
Yeah, we'll see first and foremost quarterback John Knight. We talked about him, a 3-year starter, state champion wrestler, big, strong kid, about 6'2", 6'3".
Long count under center will flip to that tailback. He has a little bit of room to run, but brought down by Alonzo Hernandez and also Lorenzo Myrick. But he gets forward for about 6 yards to the 36-yard line. Second.
Yeah, that's the running attack that we'll see from the Indians. Expect a few things that we'll call commonly. That was what I would call the tight toss. They love to run the tight toss. They love to run belly or belly option out of that belly. And we'll also see a buck sweep end around. A lot of times that's Larson or it could be Morrison coming the other way.
Actually, a 7-yard gain, 2nd down and 3. Knight will stay back in shotgun this time. And I think he's got Michael Izen to his right, but he's going to keep it right up the middle. And a lot of room to run across the 40 out to the 43, 44-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Indians. They'll mark it on the 44-yard line.
So another 7-yard gain on the ground. Knight's big enough, strong enough to be part of the running attack, although he can pull the ball back and throw a nice deep pass as well. Other guys for the Indians expect to see Larson, number 30, and number 6, Trevor Morrison. We've talked about those guys a little bit. And then 56, the left tackle, Jacob Newsom, is a real good lineman on both sides of the ball.
Back in that tight I formation, Knight this time, that quick pitch to the tailback. He's getting through all those tacklers all the way across midfield, near 1st down run, a near 10-yard run as he just bulls his way for a 1st down yardage.
They're not even going to measure. They're going to give him the 10 yards. So that's 2 carries for 17 yards already for Larson.
On the Knight 46-yard line.
He's trying to run that ball right up the middle, soften and test the middle of the Knights defense, which has been their strength, that front 7 all year. So good matchup here early on.
Again, that pitch to the tailback. He's going to get brought down, but not until he gets about a 4-yard run as he clears that initial line of scrimmage. There's some holes to run there. Down to the 41-yard line, 5-yard gain, 2nd down and 5.
The Knights number 50, Javier Hutron, on the stop. Going to move the ball into Knight territory, down to the Knight 46-yard line. And if the Indians can do this all day long, they'll be happy.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 yards at a chunk. They'll do that all day long, patiently.
Toss to Larson around the left side, follows his blockers, but Alonzo Hernandez comes right up through 2 would-be blockers and stops him for about a 1-yard gain, maybe a 2-yard gain to the 39. It'll bring up 3rd down and a long 3. Now, who's the up back in that tight I formation? Is that Michael Izen or is
number 25?
Number
Michael
25.
Izen, traditionally, with Larson and Morrison as the wings. Very tight formation here.
Give to Michael Izen right at the middle, and he breaks free. He's going to get a 1st down across the 35 down to the 33-yard line. So good, steady, sustained drive for the Indians on this first possession.
Yeah, just chunking away, 5-6 yards at a pop here. Nothing more than 10 yards and nothing less than about 5 on each of these carries so far. We'll see if the Indians have the patience and the play calling to keep doing this, or if they go to the air at some point and trying to catch the Knights by surprise.
Knight steps back in shotgun with Michael Izen to his left. They will give to him on the right side. He's met by, I'm going to guess that's Alonzo Hernandez, and it is. Number 34, Alonzo Hernandez, comes up from his linebacker spot. Stops him for about a short 2-yard, even just a 1-yard gain, 2nd down and 9.
What the Knights defense wants to do is get the Indians into longer down and distance situations. Obviously, the Indians' running attack is designed to avoid that. We'll have an I formation here.
Long count. Give to Jacob Larson, left side. He's cut down. That's Owen Ellis, and also that's Javier Hutron. Comes from his right tackle spot.
Going to be just a yard gain.
Very short gain. 3rd down and long 8.
On this drive.
And
8
certainly
plays so far, all running plays. 5 of them have gone to Larson. He's got 25 yards.
And they're very much in 4-down territory right now on the Knight 31-yard line.
Yeah, he's trying to set the tone. Coach Cornwell felt like physicality maybe was an edge that they had over Royal.
Spread the field a little bit more.
Now.
Motion by Larson from left to right. Turns upfield. They're going to throw that flag as it's caught by number 44 out of the backfield. He's going to get not much of a gain, but the flag's going to be for the motion man turning up too quick, an illegal motion penalty.
Yeah, they threw the flag. They threw it to the Colville side of the line of scrimmage. That typically means the penalty is going to be against the Indians. It was a catch and a short gain of about a yard or 2.
The Knights might
If the Knights decline it, it would bring up 4th down and about 5. If the Knights enforce it, they'll march them back 5 yards.
Just 5 yards. and they will take the penalty. So it'll still be third down.
Of course, if it's a pre-snap penalty, they may not have had an option.
Yeah, that
there.
could be true. That could be true.
Third down and 12. Not the down and distance that the Indians want to be in, but certainly not one that they're not capable of working their way out of.
Nope.
Oh, it
Knights
is going to be declined.
So we are right.
The Knights did decline it, and it's going to bring up fourth down.
Ball on the 31-yard line, fourth down, a long 8.
Ball on the right hash.
Knight in shotgun, McAleason to his right with wings on the left side. And they'll fake it. He gets cut down as Knight will play action to McAleason, but gets cut down by Ryder Eilers underneath there. The defensive line and linebackers coming up, forcing the Colville Indians to turn the ball over on downs. So the Knight defense bends a little bit on that first drive, but ultimately doesn't break and will get the ball on their own 32-yard line to start their first possession.
Yeah, Knight needed 8 yards. He only got about 1. He got hit immediately after crossing the line of scrimmage. Knights will take over for their first offensive possession.
Jenks will remain in shotgun.
Seconds left
motion across the backfield, left to right, to give to Alonzo Hernandez. He's spread across that left side, and a good push by the defensive line is going to drop him for a yard or 2 loss.
I think both teams playing with a lot of adrenaline and emotion here. I think that's something that both teams are going to have to work through. I expect that this will be a lot of I don't know if I'd say a feeling out process, but certainly a process where both teams are going to be playing aggressively and trying to get the upper hand early in the contest. We do have an injured Indian who is down. We got some trainers out.
Let's check on him. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll play commercial, and we'll be back. You're watching the NFHS Network.
It's your family road trip, your limousine, your business. It's what you drive. Take care of it at Point S Tire and Auto Service. For tires and expert service you can trust. Get to the point. Point S, expert service guaranteed.
Panabaker, the injured Colville player, I noticed before the game he's got his right hand all taped up, so now he's got a lower leg injury. So
that's a big blow for the Indians. He's an all-league linebacker and a starting offensive lineman as well. Knights in shotgun. Jinx is going to look at the slot,
and it's thrown.
Ball's intended for Cooper Christensen, number 13. It's also number 13 for the Colville Indians, Jake Lindquist, that knocks the pass down.
So incomplete. Bring up a third down and 12 for the Knights.
Cooper Christensen, number 13 for the Knights, just a sophomore. Starting cornerback all year long, getting more reps on the offensive side as well.
Jenks this time under center. The play action to the left. Going to get thrown outside of his intended receiver, Owen Ellis. He is forced a little bit quick by number 56 for Colville. Number 56, Jacob Newsom, big-time player.
Newsom's a guy who's going to be he's going to be a headache for the Knights all night. There's no doubt about that. All afternoon, I'd say. He's an all-league guy on both sides of the ball, and for good reason.
Fourth down for the Knights. Michael Perez will do the kicking duties deep. For the Indians, I'm going to take a guess who that might be, but until he turns, I can't see. And that's number 11,
Kanamu.
And he's avoids the first 2 guys and then meets Tucker Jeanette, brings him down. But pretty good field position here for the Colville Indians as the Knights will push them back to their own 37-yard line where they'll get their second possession of the game on this near hash.
Yeah, neither team wants to necessarily play a field position battle, but at this point, that's what this feeling out process is resulting in. So since the Indians are back on offense, let's talk about some defensive key players for the Knights that are big-time players and are also some players that really need to step up and do their part. Number one of those, first and foremost, number 50, Javier Hutron for the Knights, playing that defensive end position.
Field spread wide. As Knight's going to keep it up the middle, and he gets nothing. He's met by
Javier Hutron.
We just talked about.
On key, gets in the backfield around that right tackle and makes the play. Knight it's going to be a gain of about 1 yard is all.
Knight, a really good athlete. As I understand, a state champion wrestler last year at the 182 division.
Also, key players defensively for the Knights. Linebacker number 43, Jack Diaz, a big, strong body who reads quickly and makes good plays. Number 64 on the defensive line, Playing on the left side right now, Michael Perez, a junior who's come on strong late in the year, and safety 16 Tyler Allred, who had 2 interceptions last week.
Quick toss to Larson. He's going to get out to the 42-yard line for a few yards. Met by Owen Ellis and the linebackers there.
Going to pick up 4 yards.
They're down at about 5.
Yeah, Tyler had a great game last week. He had 2 interceptions, one late in the game and one early that was a significant impact in the game. And also got the call offensively for a few carries and scored a touchdown. So I got another junior for the Knights who is going to be relied on heavily at that safety position.
Again, packed in tight for the Indians with 1 man out wide right. Knight will play action. He still has the ball on his right side. He's going to throw it down the field far and
good
incomplete.
Coverage.
I was just waiting to see the fans. We were on the Colville side, and I was waiting to see if the fans got their wish, but no flag comes out as the 2 kids hand jostling there. I thought that was Cooper Christensen, but it was
no, it was Angel Farias on the coverage. Lindquist was the intended receiver. Knight rolled out to his right, but he had pressure coming. One of those was number 64, Michael Perez, in his face as he's trying to deliver the ball. It's going to bring up 4th down at about 5, and it looks like the Indians will drop back into punt formation. Looks like Michael Izin is the punter. Angel Farias is going to be back on about his own 25-yard line to return.
Just gets the punt away. Angled. It's going to get, he's not going to get a chance at it. They're going to scoop it up right about the 25-yard lines, and that's where the Knights will get the ball again.
In baseball, we'd call that a bad hop. He was leaning one way, and the ball hit the ground and bounced the opposite way of his momentum. So best thing he could do is just get out of its way. Kanamu downs it, and it'll be the second offensive possession for the Knights. Let's talk about this Knights offense just a little bit. Key players, obviously number 7, Sawyer Jenks, with those 33 touchdowns just against just 3 interceptions. His ability to make some completions early and put together some first downs will be key for the Knights. Joining him in the backfield, 34, Alonzo Hernandez, leading rusher for the Knights.
Knights spread the field, and a quick slant on the inside. Angel Farias makes the first man miss. It's off to the races. Watch out down the sideline on the 50, 40. Goodbye. No flags on the ground. Angel Farias, 10-5, touchdown. Royal Knights on a quick hitter on the right side as he just steps outside of the would-be tackler, and it shows you the athleticism by that number 5, Angel Farias.
Yeah, matches his longest touchdown catch of the year to date, 74 yards, just a quick pass to the outside, getting him the ball. That's what you got to do with your offense is get the ball to athletes in open space and let them make plays. And he was able to get past the initial charge, and nobody else was able to catch up to him. So the Knights put up points on the board here early with 5 minutes left in the first quarter.
Allred the holder with Guerrero set to kick the extra point. Good snap, ball on the tee, and kick is up and good. 4:57 left to go in the first quarter. Knights first on the board lead the Colville Indians by a score of 7-0. You're watching NFHS Network.
Mud, no problem. Bugs, no problem. Nasty road salt, no problem. Splash and Dash can handle it all. Our amazing features include undercarriage wash, hot wax, clear coat protectant, and 24/7 service. Our floor heat and automatic doors keep us open even on the coldest and snowiest of days. And to top it all off, unlike the Knights, our vacuums suck. We know the road to the dome is a dirty one. Let Splash and Dash be a part of your game plan. Follow us on Facebook at Splash and Dash Car and Truck Wash for special promotional offers. Locally owned and operated, we truly care about our customers.
Let's go.
Knights get a quick hit to the right side. Long. How long was that touchdown?
74 yards.
74 yards touchdown strike. Angel Farias from Sawyer Jenks. Knights lead 7-0. 4:57 left to go in the first quarter of this semifinal 1A state game.
So the Knights strike first on their second offensive possession after being held to a 3-and-out on their first possession.
Guerrero again is going to do that short kick, taken right about the 17-yard line up the right side. Tries to make the first man miss and gets across the 30 out to the 34 where he's brought down by Tyler Allred, one of the Knights getting up off the bottom. And again, Alonzo Hernandez.
Number 30, Jacob Larson, the return man. It'll be similar field position as the Indians had on their last possession. Ball spotted at the 34-yard line on the right hash. The Indians obviously looking to match the Knights here. They want to keep pace and be able to stay within the normal flow of their offense.
Colville sends two receivers wide left as Knight will stay in shotgun. Michael Isen to his right will give to him. Actually, he fakes that and keeps that up the middle. Real good fake, but defended really well as he kept it up the middle for about 4 yards, 5 yards.
See where they spot that. We're going to call that 4 yards. It's already the fourth carry for Knight, so definitely they use him for his legs.
Yeah.
A little different than the Knights and Sawyer Jinks, where he's a guy that's going to move up in the pocket, move around, but he's always going to be looking downfield for the most part. Knight is a guy that they like to use both through the air and on the ground.
4 yard gain as they'll pack it in tight again. Motion across the backfield will give to him, and he's going to get cut down. That's
Morrison, number 6 on his first carry.
Morrison gets the carry, but it's going to get dropped for a yard or two.
Yeah,
bring it back to about a 3rd down and 7.
He's going to get a yard loss. That offensive scheme is really, on that tight toss when they do that, even the quarterback, then after he tosses it, turns and tries to get upfield and help block. It's that offense is run in a telephone booth when they're in that formation.
Yeah.
Although telephone booths are a thing of the past. If you've ever seen a telephone booth, then you know what I'm talking about. Everything's tight. Everything's jammed in there.
Some
and they're
people
trying
watching
to really
are going, what are you talking about?
I know.
Colville spreads the field, and they're going to call a timeout. We're going to get a timeout on the field with this 3rd down play. We'll take a break as well. Knights lead 7-0 with 3:27 left to go in the first quarter. You're watching the NFHS Network.
From the most trusted name in the Columbia Basin comes Callahan Gravel. You'll love Callahan's rock-solid product. Multiple applications include driveways, roads, stackyards, and landscaping. A pothole's worst nightmare. Call Callahan Gravel at 346-2208 to get rocked.
Hey guys, Micah Chen here from Cascadia Preps. Looking for the best coverage of high school football? Cascadia Preps is your #1 stop for all things high school football, team rankings, game analysis, and weekly podcasts from around the state. Visit us today at cascadiapreps.com.
Timeout breaks. 3rd down and long 7. Knight will stay in shotgun with motion across the backfield by Larson. Looks to pass on this left side, lets it go, and it's caught. And it's going to be right at the marker. Good tackle by Cooper Christensen, but it's complete to number 13, Jake Lindquist. And that's just right there. We'll see if they just mark it or if they're going to bring the chains out. Now that's first down.
That's going to be an 8-yard gain. Moves the ball out to the 43, nearly 40 to the 44-yard line for the Indians, allows them to pick up the first down and continue this possession with 3 minutes left in the first quarter.
Tight formation. Knight under center. Quick pitch to Larson. He's getting across the middle, out across midfield into Knight territory all the way to the Knight 49-yard line, a 7-yard run. Probably one of the most successful plays they've had to this point in the game is that quick toss to Larson on either side.
Yeah, on either side. They've got big enough linemen. You'll look there, the tackles in the center are large bodies, 250 plus, 290, a couple of them. Guards are a little bit smaller, but they're designed to pull and get out into open space and help block that way.
Quick pitch to the left side. He gets turned in by Owen Ellis, and he makes the tackle.
Great
play by Owen Ellis.
He looked like he was blocked, spun off the block, reached out with one hand and grabbed. Was that Larson or Morrison?
I think it was.
And pulled him
number
down.
6, Morrison. A loss, 2-yard loss back into the Colville 49-yard line. 3rd down and a long 4.
Yeah, that was a great effort. Just yanked him down with one hand.
3rd down and 5. Minute 57 left to go in the first quarter.
Going to put Knight in that pistol formation with Michael Eason behind him.
He's going to throw on the left side. Quick throw, and it is caught complete right to about the 43-yard line. They'll mark it at the 44, 1st and 10 for the Indians.
That was Kanamu on the catch, and again, using the run to get to 3rd down and then using the pass effectively. Nothing deep, just running just past the sticks and picking up the 1st downs and then getting back to that run formation.
Shuffle motion will give to Muckalizen. He sidesteps the first tackler, and Lorenzo Myrick holds on to him, but not until he gets down to the 38-yard line for a pretty good gain of about 5 or 6.
We're going to give him
6-yard gain at the Knight 38-yard line, 2nd down and 4.
3 carries for 13 yards for Michael Issen. And this is the down and distance situation that the Indians want to stay in. 2nd and less than 5 opens up their whole playbook for him.
Same shotgun formation. High snap, but he brings it down, and Michael Issen is caught by Michael Perez, and I'm going to say that's Lorenzo Myrick. Yes, it is. Maybe a short gain. A 1-yard gain will bring up 3rd down and 3.
Yeah,
again,
we're hit
indefinite.
at the line of scrimmage, and then be able to just get enough to pick up 1 yard as he's being brought to the ground.
And we're in definite 4-down territory again, as on the shorter side at the Knight 37-yard line.
Knights only attempted 2 passes, but completed both of those, and both of those were conversions for 1st downs.
Knight will step under center this time in that tight phone booth. Quick pitch to Larson as Michael Perez comes off his blocker, but I think he's going to get a 1st down as he gets across 35 down with a market inside the 34. It is a 1st down run by Larson.
It's going to be a 5-yard gain, which has been pretty much his average. 8 carries for 41 yards so far.
Fresh set of downs for the Indians. 15 seconds and counting left to go in this quarter.
This offense chews clock. That's one thing for sure. As they chew clock, they're going to let this quarter run down and switch sides of the field to open the 2nd quarter as they look to continue this drive and even things up with the Royal Knights.
First quarter will end with the Knights leading the Colville Indians by a score of 7-0. You're watching the NFHS Network.
Hard work, determination, team spirit. These are all qualities that put a winning team on the field, and the folks at Saddle Mountain Supply know something about a winning team. For over 30 years, Saddle Mountain Supply has worked hard to provide the highest level of service to the local community. They are determined to offer the best quality products at competitive prices, and they boast one of the top teams in the ag industry, ready to offer a helping hand or timely assistance. From bookwork to fieldwork, from accurate applications to reliable recommendations, Saddle Mountain Supply is committed to using the latest in technology and training to attend all your agronomic needs. Check out our website at www.performanceag.com for the latest in industry trends and market prices. Saddle Mountain Supply at performanceag.com. Quality you can count on, performance you can plan on.
We'll switch sides. Colville now going from our left to right with the sun to their back. The ball is on the Knight 33-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Colville Indians.
Well, you couldn't ask for a more beautiful day at this time of year.
No wind.
Mid-40s, no wind, sun shining.
Knight and shotgun was going to follow his blocker. He goes right up the middle, and he's going to get in. 5-10. Touchdown, straight up the gut by the keep. Just the seas parted, and Knight ran straight up the center for the score to start this 2nd quarter.
Absolutely an effective weapon for them, as we talked about, and that shows it right there as the Knights were loading up for something completely different, and Knight splits the linebackers of the Knights and gets into the end zone, waiting on an extra point to see if they knot this game up here on the very first play of the 2nd quarter.
Lucas Michelson, the kicker, with John Knight, the quarterback, holding for the extra point. The Michelson kick is up and good. We're all tied up at 7, 11:52 to go in the first half. You're watching NFHS Network.
Well, James, you finally got that license, huh?
Look, you can stop me once or twice, but nobody denies the James 3 times. Nobody.
Well, champ, what's up next?
Prom's gonna be pretty big, but there's no need to fight over the James, ladies. The green machine seats 5, runs like a dream, purrs like a bobcat. You got Napa and the James to thank for that.
Oh, good luck. And that's James.
Keep your champion running longer, stronger with Napa know-how.
Quick run right at the middle for a 33-yard touchdown on the keep. John Knight.
Yep, and both teams know they're in a ball game now. The Knights have only trailed once all year. That was early in the game against Okanagan. At Okanagan, ended up coming out on top of that game by a wide margin with some quick scores going into the half and a dominant second half. I feel this game is going to be a 4-quarter game, absolutely. And I don't know if it's going to be a situation where the last team that has the ball is the team that's going to win necessarily, but I think it's going to be a battle. The Knights going to have to
Michelson
match.
drives this, going to be taken right up the middle by Tucker Jeanette. He splits that. Boy, he just doesn't quite get away from that guy. He gets out to about the 34. Didn't see who cut him down, but he's a shifty sophomore.
Well, it was a good deep kick, and it was a good return to get out to the 33, 34-yard line for this possession. First possession of the second quarter for the Knights.
Now the sun in the eyes of the quarterback, but not in the eyes of the receiver now.
Exactly.
Knights will spread the field, 3 receivers to the right, tight end on the right side. Jenks in shotgun with Hernandez on his right hip. Hand off to Hernandez, and he's get brought down by big number 56. He came in basically free on the left side.
He's also helped out by number 44, Paul Skirko, the defensive end. It's going to be another 1-yard loss. That was only the third offensive play from scrimmage for the Knights as they scored on their second play of their. Oh, that's not exactly true. That's only the second running play, excuse me. Both of them have been for short losses. So the Colville Indians defensive front coming up big here early in the game, especially energized after that touchdown.
Jenks center will play action. Still has the ball. He's going to throw a quick hitter. Oh, it just goes off the hands. Actually gets tipped just before it gets to Gage. Is that Gage Christensen it was intended for? And falls the turf incomplete.
Yeah, just trying to hit Gage right in that seam of the zone, but tipped by somebody. I couldn't see who that was exactly. May have been 25. Michael Eason, who was underneath that. Jenks double pumped and threw to the same place, so gave the defense maybe a chance to recognize and react.
He'll stay back in shotgun with 2 receivers this time near side to the left. Looks to throw on the right side, does. And wow, did he catch that? That was a fantastic interception by number 13, Jake Lindquist.
Wow.
As he reached across and read that ball really well. And a really athletic, fantastic interception.
Intended for, I believe, number 13, Cooper Christensen, but Lindquist reached over the top and snagged that ball right away. First turnover of the game, big momentum shift here to the Indians after their touchdown and now an interception to give them the ball in Knight territory down to the Knight 44-yard line. And they're going to need to make the most of every opportunity they get here as they line up on the left hash, first down and 10.
Knight will stay in shotgun. Michael Eason behind him as they'll pitch back on a trick play. They're going to throw it long, and just a lot of hand fighting. The fans want a flag, but between Angel Farias and number 13, is that Lindquist? I think that's 13.
13 Lindquist.
But it falls incomplete.
First incompletion for Knight. That was an old-fashioned flea flicker where Michael Eason just turned and tossed it back to Knight. Angel Farias was right on the coverage. Neither one of them really looked for the ball.
Yeah, they were just worried about each other. And the referees, letting a little bit of hand fighting going on in early in this game.
Well, I think when it's both guys doing it, it's hard to call it.
Yeah.
And so they kind of let it go.
Same formation for the Indians.
And Knight in that pistol formation.
This time they'll give to the running back, That's probably Michael Isn't whose that is, yes.
Yeah.
And he's brought down for just a very short gain.
Owen Ellis and Michael Perez combined for that stop
1
on
yard
the
gain.
left side of the defensive line for the Knights. 5 carries for 15 yards, 3-yard average for Michael Isn't.
Bring up a 3rd down and 9 on the Royal Knight 43-yard line.
Morrison going to take a rest. Number 4, Spencer Fox comes into his spot. He's going to line up out wide left, put an extra receiver in the formation here on 3rd down and long.
Knight this time will hand to Michael Isn't on that right side, and he gets dragged down. He's not going to escape the clutches of his jersey. Let's see who that is. He's got him. That's Owen Ellis.
That's Owen Ellis. That's the 2nd or 3rd tackle he's had that way, where he's able to just reach out with that paw and grab a 190-pound man and yank him down to the turf for no gain.
4th down and 9, and my guess is they're going to go for it here with the momentum on their side, or you might see a quick kick.
Michael Isn't back to punt. He's the punter, and it is 4th down and 9.
On the Knight 43-yard line.
Angel Farias is going to be back on about the 10.
They will punt it. They'll angle it over to that far side, and boy, good coverage all the way down inside the 10-yard line. So the Knights will have the ball deep in their own territory. 9:28 left to go in the first half. All tied up at 7. We're in a game.
Yeah, this is great action here for the WIAA semifinal game in the 1A classification. Now, sponsored by Les Schwab and the Dairy Farmers of Washington.
That's correct.
We have Les Schwab in Royal City.
We do.
We have Dairy Farmers in Royal City.
All over the place.
That's right.
My guess is Colville's got the same
I'm
thing.
going to guess they're full of them, too.
Knights will spread the field. 2 receivers to the left. Angel Farias up top to the right. Jenks in shotgun. Takes that shotgun snap, hands to Alonzo Hernandez, and just as he made a move, he was cut down by number 56, who's been a beast, Jacob Newsom. Maybe a 1-yard gain, 2nd down and 9.
First positive yards rushing for the Knights. Newsom is just a tough guy to block, a tough guy to move down there.
And he's been shifting around the line. He's usually on the left, but he jumps around. Jenks in shotgun.
Pressure coming from the Indians. Both linebackers coming.
Tucker Jeanette out of the backfield, caught down the middle, and he steps out of the would-be tackler. If he can get away from this guy, he doesn't. Gets brought down about the 39-yard line. He's got lots of speed, and they're going to mark him about the 40-yard line as he took Hernandez's spot. And quick pass just right out of the backfield.
30-yard
line.
30-yard gain, and the Knights did a perfect job play calling there, taking advantage of that pressure, seeing that pressure coming, and throwing it to where the Indians had vacated to bring a blitzing pressure up the middle against Jenks.
8:35 left to go in the second half.
See if that slows down that pressure by the Indians or if they stick with it.
Motion out of the backfield, leaves an empty backfield. Jenks stands back, throws it long on that side. Gage Christensen's right there, and they're going to... I don't know what they're going to call. They throw a flag. I'm not sure who they're going to call that on.
There's definitely some jostling there. We'll see what that penalty marker is, if it's going to go against the offense or the defense. If they throw a penalty there, I don't think it was for the end. I think it was for early on in the play. They're going to call that on Michael Isn't, and it's not going to be because
popular.
of the – it's not going to be popular on this side, on the Colville Indian side of the fan base. But that penalty didn't happen at the diving attempt for the play. It happened earlier in the process as was it Cooper or was it Gage?
I think it was Gage.
That was held up and not able to get to the ball.
Yeah, and on cue, the Colville fans do not agree with that. And I'm not sure, as the calls that have been going, the referees call what they call, and we're either happy or not happy.
It's 80 yards away from us. There's no way I could gauge or give an opinion on that, even if I should.
2 receivers wide to the right. Hernandez motions out of the backfield. Jenks takes a quick throw to Cooper Christensen, who's going to quickly try to throw that down the field and knocked down, falls incomplete as Cooper didn't get his arm into it as there was good pressure. And Angel Farias turns into a defensive back and knocks that down for the incomplete pass.
Yeah, Angel had a step or two. If Cooper would have been able to set his feet and get a good ball downfield, it could have been a completion for the Knights.
Kind of had to go up high to get it and came back down. By the time he came back down, was able to set his feet. I didn't see who gave him the pressure, but he had pressure on that play. Falls incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, definitely clear from here that it was a throw, a backwards pass, which would have allowed that double pass. Indians reacted to it well.
Motion across the backfield. Jenks will play action, and they give it to Hernandez, and he just can't get away from that interior line as they fake to Farias across the backfield and gave to Hernandez up the middle for maybe 1 yard gain. 3rd down and 9 coming up on the Indian 44-yard line. And again, I would say the Knights probably in 4-down territory
depending
here.
On
what
they probably need to get 6 probably here on this one at least in order to push it to a 4-down type situation.
Jenks and shotgun takes the snap. Play action to Hernandez. He has to avoid the rush, and he's going to get brought down. And this won't be 4-down territory as he's brought down on the 49-yard line of Colville for about a 5-yard loss. We'll bring up 4th down and 14.
Going to be about a 6-yard loss, it looks like to me. 5-6 yards, you're right. Michael Perez will come in to punt. And Kanamu is going to go back deep on about the 15-yard line here.
Perez, the punter for the Knights. An angled kick away from Kanamu. It's going to bounce on the 20 and take a fairly good bounce, but it's going to stop at the 15-yard line, and that's where Colville will take over this possession. 6:57 left to go in the second quarter, in the first half. All knotted up at 7 apiece. 2 big plays, the difference. Knights had a big play.
Absolutely. Big play
Colville
passing for the Knights and a big play running for Knight for the Indians.
I wouldn't be surprised if offensive yardage for Colville is a good clip, better than for the Knights. I'm not keeping track, obviously, but Colville able to really make the Knights defense bend but not break, except for that one big play.
I would guess it's real similar in yardage, within 10, 15 yards of each other. Tight toss again to the left side this time.
Larson gets met by Jack Diaz, ultimately bringing him down along with Alonso Hernandez, but not till he gets out across the 20-yard line for about a 7-yard gain. Actually, the 22.
Gain of 6, 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, that's at least a gain of 7. 2nd down 3 is what we're going to call it.
9 carries for Larson with the lion's share of the load here. Knight going to be under center. Tight toss again to that left side again. Larson gets stretched out, trying to get to the yard marker. He gets turned away out of bounds. We'll see if he gets across the line to gain to pick up the 1st down. It's going to be close.
I think it's going to be a close, short, 3rd and short. They're going to mark him right on the 29.
They're going to get the 1st down.
Sorry, that's the 24. So my eyes deceive me on the chains here on this side. Just enough for a fresh set of downs.
I'm not sure that it is. I think they moved those chains prematurely. They took the ball on the 15-yard line to start the drive, and they've only got the ball to the 24-yard line right now.
We've definitely got some discussion.
I think that the line judge on the side where the play was run is the one coming in and saying, no, he didn't get there. They've got a little bit of a count here.
The yard marker on the far side isn't moved, and they're going to place that ball just across the 24-yard line.
Yeah,
and they're
he
going to
needed
say
3. He only got 2.
Yeah. So my eyes didn't deceive me.
Going to bring up 3rd down and very short for the Indians on their own left hash. Ball spotted between the 24 and the 25-yard line. 6 minutes left in the half. And again, like we said, this is an offense that moves the ball but also chews up the clock.
Tight formation. There's
ball's on the ground.
Ball's on the ground. We're going to see what happens.
I think the Knights
the Knights
to
going to get it, and I don't know how that ball came out, but we saw it come squirting out, and I thought they were going to throw it, stop the play dead because I thought there was motion. But the Knights are going to get that ball on the turnover. I didn't see if that came out of the center's hands or of the quarterback because it came shooting over there on that far side. Knights getting a great opportunity here with the ball on the 15-yard line.
I think it was on the toss, and making a play early here for the defensive player of the game for the Knights, number 87, Owen Ellis, is the one that drops on that ball. Gives the Knights great field possession on the 15-yard line of the Colville Indians.
3 receivers near side to the left. Jenks will give to Hernandez. Breaks on that outside. Finally gets room to run. Makes one move. In for a touchdown. Alonzo Breeze A sigh of relief. Has not had any yard. He's used to getting some yards. He hasn't had any yards.
Up to that point,
game.
he'd had 4 total carries for a total of -1 yard. So great for him to get positive yardage and to pick up that touchdown for the Knights.
Big turnover.
On the sudden change after the turnover. Well blocked for the Knights. Takes a little bit of steam out of the Indians, as you would expect it might. They're going to have to regather on the sideline here before the kickoff and get themselves organized.
Guerrero, extra point is up and signaled good. 5:46 left to go in the first half. Knights lead 14-7 over the Colville Indians. You're watching the NFHS Network.
My name is Chris Culbertson. I own Colby's Greenhouse. We grow 3 to 4 million plants a year. We put 1 million miles a year on our rigs. We service a dozen farm vehicles. I've been a good Napa customer. This is the first business truck that I ever bought, so it's had a lot of Napa parts. One thing I like about my local Napa store, I just call them up and say, hey, they know who I am. I would recommend that anyone shop at Napa. Great prices, great availability, excellent warranty. Napa's the one for us.
Napa, get the good stuff.
Knights capitalize on the big turnover down on the 15-yard line. One play, Alonso Hernandez runs it up the left side. Makes the score 14-7.
I can tell you where the Indians have run significantly more plays than Royal has.
No doubt.
But the Knights are able to...
that's true. I was discounting that 85 yards of offense when I was thinking of offensive yards total.
Yeah.
Guerrero set to kick. Right on this side with Larson taking about the 18-yard line. Right up the middle, cuts through some men. He's got room to run, and he cuts right through that side. And here we're going to have a return all the way down to the 20. 10-5 touchdown, no flags on the ground. And just like that, pending the extra point, Colville Indians get the boost that they were looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. No team able to get the real edge here. Momentum. Jacob Larson catches that ball. Short catch on about the 20. Works his way to the middle of the field and gets past the line of defenders coming his way. And with about 35, 40 yards to go, nobody else between him and the end zone. He gets in and with the potential here to tie the game up. With Michelson back to kick and Knight to hold.
Low driving kick, but it's right through. 5:33 left to go in the first half. All tied up. 14-14. You're watching the NFHS Network.
Mud, no problem. Bugs, no problem. Nasty road salt, no problem. Splash and Dash can handle it all. Our amazing features include undercarriage wash, hot wax, clear coat protectant, and 24/7 service. Our floor heat and automatic doors keep us open even on the coldest and snowiest of days. And to top it all off, unlike the Knights, our vacuums suck. We know the road to the dome is a dirty one. Let Splash and Dash be a part of your game plan. Follow us on Facebook at Splash and Dash Car and Truck Wash for special promotional offers. Locally owned and operated, we truly care about our customers.
Let's go.
Deep for the Knights, Angel Farias and Tucker Jeanette as Michelson set to kick off. All tied up at 14 here. 5:33 left to go in the first half.
Reminds me a lot of that Okanagan game earlier in the season. Back and forth battle here in the first half. Farias and Jeanette back deep to receive.
Going to be taken to Jeanette right about his 13-yard line. He sends right up the middle, looking for room to run, and he's cut down right away by number 6. I'm going to give credit for Morrison on the trip up there on Tucker Jeanette, where they'll mark it at about the 21-yard line, or is it the 26-yard line? 1st and 10 for the Knights.
Key 5.5 minutes left here in the first half. See if either team can figure out how to get the upper hand as far as the momentum and pace of this game.
Three receivers wide to the right. Jenks in shotgun. Looks to throw, and he does down that far side. He's got a man wide open, and it's caught all the way down inside the 40. He had to come back. Boy, if he had a little more on it, he would have really, because Farias had 5 yards on his man. And, boy, that was pretty far past. That went in the air.
35 yards.
Yeah, 35-yard completion. 1st and 10 for the Knights.
It's 2 catches for 109 yards for Farias.
Ball placed on the 39-yard line of the Indians.
Yeah, if Jenks could get just a little more on it, Farias takes that into the end zone.
Under center this time. The give to Hernandez. He pops to the outside, steps inside, and a good tackle. They're going to have a flag come in. I'm going to guess we're going to have a blocking penalty. It's going to be my estimation.
I would imagine this would be a holding penalty against the Knights where it's thrown. It's going to be a gain of about a yard, but based on where the penalty marker's thrown, it's going to be about an 11-yard net penalty against the Knights. Going to bring up 1st down and about 21 is my guess once they spot the ball.
Still 1st down, but it's going to take it into Knight territory back to the Knight 49-yard line.
Exactly 5 minutes left to go until the halftime break. Game all knotted up. 14-14.
First and 21 for the Knights. Jenks in shotgun, Hernandez on his left hip. Tight trio as motion goes across the backfield, right to left. They're going to throw it across his backside. It's picked off by number 56 as he was just standing right there. Look, he kind of read that as a bit of a screen, and Jenks turned around and reverse pivoted, threw to his intended receiver.
56, Newsom. He wasn't
right
surprised by that at all, and he reaches out with his big paws and picks it off. Luckily, the Knights are able to drag him down from behind, but a second interception thrown by Jenks and great field position again here for the Knights. The Indians. We talked about this critical last 5 minutes of the half. Indians right now have the upper hand with the ball at the Knights' 40-yard line on the left hash.
Everybody in tight now.
Yeah, I expect to see power run here.
Motion by Morrison. They'll play action to him. Look to throw. Down that far side. Has a man open, but he's knocked down by Angel Farias. So he had a man broke a little bit free in coverage, but the zone coverage by the Knights with Farias coming on this far side knocked that ball down. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Trying to catch the Knights on sudden change there. Try to make a big play happen. And just a little bit overthrown there up the seam. 2nd down and 10 now. Clock stops on the incomplete pass. 4 minutes and 42 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. Knight's going to go to a shotgun formation this time with Michael Eason to his right side.
And the flag flies because we're going to have...
I believe it's going to be against the Indians.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a motion penalty.
As the Knights shifted their defensive front, a guy was on the right side, ran to go over to the left side. I don't know if that's what got the lineman to move a little bit, or certainly it wasn't intentionally trying to get him to move. It was trying to get in the right position.
Get to the opposite side.
Right, but that may have been the trigger that caused the Indians' offensive lineman to get started early.
2nd down and 15 from the Knight 45-yard line. Colville spreads the field a little bit more as Knight will stay back in shotgun. Michael Eason to his right. Long count. Looks to throw on this right side. He's going to break free, but he's not going to get too far. He won't get sacked because I think he's going to get about a yard gain, perhaps. But he gets right back at least to the line of scrimmage, right on the 45. So no gain as Knight had to pull that down.
Good pressure. Forced Knight to try to work his way up in the pocket and then realize the best thing he could do is just try to get what he could with his feet.
3rd down and 15 coming up. Clock coming down to 4 minutes left to go in the first half, all tied up at 14.
Going to be doubles formation, 2 receivers out wide, 2 receivers out left.
Watch for Knight to keep this. He's going to roll to his right, throws back across the middle, and there's a man open, and it's caught by number 30, complete to Jacob Larson out of the backfield off that wing all the way down inside the 15-yard line. They'll mark it about the 12 or 13. We'll see where they put it, but it's deep into night territory. And without pressure on Knight, he's able to complete that pass.
Owen Ellis initially was going to get pressure, and then a nice job blocking to help keep Knight clean and able to make that delivery.
Knight under center, again, tie formation, straight I formation in the backfield. We'll quick toss to Larson. He's going to get forward across the 10 down, well, about right at the 10-yard line. For a few yards. Looks like we'll give him about 3 yards. Second down and 7. The ball placed near the 10-yard line. 3:17 left to go in this second quarter, with Colville threatening to break this tie.
Be huge for the Indians here if they could score here early and have the lead at the halftime break.
They give to Mike. No, they don't give it to Michael Izen. They give it to, does he have the ball? They're going to say he's down, as Jack Diaz thought he had the ball, but the Knight's going to get brought down and bring up a third down.
Yeah, Knight keeps it, and he's going to lose 2 yards.
Rolls it back to about a 3rd and 9. The ball on the 12-yard line, so they can get a first down. And I don't know if Colville's a field goal kicking team or not. It looks like they execute their extra point quite well, so I would guess that's in their bag of options. Michael Izen to the right side of Knight in shotgun. Takes a snap, looks to throw across the middle. Oh, off
Intercepted.
the hands, intercepted. Is that Alonzo?
No, it's
Tyler
Allred.
As it came off the hands of the intended receiver, and the Knights are going to get the ball in the turnover. And, boy, is this the 5th turnover in this game?
Let's see. The Knights have thrown 2 interceptions, and the Indians have had a fumble and an interception. I think that's 2 for each team.
2 for each team.
Tyler Allred, we talked about him as being a key guy, and talked about his 2 interceptions last week. He comes up with a huge interception there to stave off an Indian drive
off the
into the red zone. 2 minutes and 7 seconds left now for the Knights with the ball, and a 14-14 tie, trying to figure out how to get their way to the other end zone and go into the halftime break with the lead.
Jenks will be in shotgun. Hernandez to his left with 2 minutes to run his offense. Gives to Hernandez up the middle, steps left, steps right, and is going to get all the way across the 25 out to about the 27-yard line. Good solid run, near a 10-yard run. We got a first down run, so it is a 10-yard run at least, as they will mark it on the 28-yard line. Minute 58 and counting.
11-yard gain.
3 receivers near side. Jenks in shotgun. Takes the snap. Looks to throw. Has to step up to avoid pressure. Throws that, and it's going to get knocked down. Great play by Angel Farias because Jake, it's not John Knight. Yes, it is John Knight, 14. Yeah. And he knocks that ball out to
nearly the third interception thrown by Sawyer Jenks as Angel becomes a defender. They are very aware of Angel as he was double covered there with Kanamu and then Knight. They're going to spread the defense, the Colville defense, out a little bit here. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and they're going to give it to Hernandez.
But he's going to get stopped short. And Knights might have to take a timeout. We'll see if they hurry. We've got to bring up a 3rd down and long on a couple-yard loss. 3rd down and about 12. And the Knights lining up in that 3rd down and 12 formation. They're not going to take the timeout. 2 receivers wide to the right. Jenks in shotgun.
Looks like man coverage this time with Farias.
Steps up and delivers, and it's high and falls incomplete, and no flag, and it'll bring up a 4th down and 12. The Knights are going to be forced to punt to end this half. Snap needs to be good. Execution needs to be good with a minute 18 left to go in the half, and the coverage needs to be good. So all Knights in their toughest game of the year so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good high kick, and it's going to be fair caught right there at the 42-yard line, 43-yard line. Colville's going to have 1 minute and 10 seconds left to try to do something with the ball before they end the half. All tied up at 14, the ball on their own 43-yard line. No wind, beautiful weather. This is as fair of late November football outside weather as you're going to get.
Yeah. As good of a field position as the Knights can expect here, as they're going to have to cover 57 yards in order to put another touchdown on the board and take the lead. 1 minute and 10 seconds left until halftime, all knotted up at 14.
Knight in shotgun. Michael Isn't always falls out of his, and there's Michael Perez with a lot of pressure. Overthrows his intended receiver, and Perez came through to apply that pressure to Knight, and he had to let that ball go. Falls incomplete, second down and 10. Clock stops at 1:05 left to go in the half.
The speedster number 11, Kanamo, did an out-and-up route, got past Cooper Christensen, and safety wasn't over there to help. If the ball would have been thrown well, probably would have been a touchdown for Kanamo from Knight. And that pressure then from Perez, a big factor for the Knights.
They'll spread the field, 2 receivers wide, left and right. Knight in shotgun with Michael Isn't to his right. Takes the snap, looks to throw. He's going to get flushed out, and Javier Hutron has a shot at him, a big shot, and it's knocked down incomplete as Alonzo Hernandez came up and put a big pop on the quarterback.
Yeah, perfectly legal. Hit him in the chest as Knight was trying to jump and throw that ball, and good coverage as well on the backside by Tyler Allred, knocking the ball away. So incomplete pass is the net result, even though there was a lot of excitement
as
all around that
Hernandez
play.
came in like a missile and put a shot on Knight, and Tyler made a good play because Knight's still able to get that ball out in a catchable position for his receiver. Brings up 3rd down and 10 from their own 43-yard line. 57 seconds left to go in the half.
Yeah, they don't chew much clock when they're passing the ball the whole time. This is a buck sweep to the outside to Morrison.
Good tackle.
He's going to get chopped down by number 13, Cooper Christensen.
Good tackle.
As they try to get to the outside edge to the wide
Knights
side
are going
of
to
the field.
call a timeout real quick
as
it's 4th down with 44 seconds left. Knights call a timeout to preserve some clock as Colville will be forced into a 4th down and 11. Should we just stay here?
Yeah.
We'll just stay here.
Yeah, let's stay here. So what's going to happen is the Knights call timeout. They're going to expect that the Indians are going to punt on 4th and 11 in their own territory, and that would give the ball to Royal with about 40 seconds left in the half, and hoping that that's enough time that they can get a decent return and good field position and an opportunity maybe to get something going here to close out the first half. They got the ball back. The Indians got the ball back with 1 minute and 7 seconds left, and have only used 20-25 seconds of the clock so far. That's mostly because of throwing the ball with those incomplete passes, where we talked about before how much they chewed the clock with their running attack. Here, trying to get something going through the air, that potentially leaves some time on the clock for the Knights. Here, 4th down and 11.
4th down 11 from their own 42-yard line. Angel Farias will go deep for the Knights.
We'll wait and see. Confirm that the Indians are going to punt. And again, obviously there's always the potential for a fake, but the Knights do have timeouts.
Michael Isn't set to punt. And he pauses and gets it away. And a good spiraling high kick that Angel's going to have to stay away from. And it takes a Knight bounce, but we're going to get it on about the 17-yard line with 35 seconds left to go in the half. All tied up at 14 with both teams threatening to go ahead and not able to go ahead. Big plays, a big factor here in this first half so far.
Yeah, when I talked to Coach Cornwell of the Indians during the week, he talked about the potential of turnovers and big plays making a big difference. At this level, at this point in the season, semifinals, not surprising that a game like this with great teams, two great teams, are going to turn on big plays, maybe lapses in defensive coverage or turnovers.
I don't know what we have. A flag.
We had 11 seconds left on the play clock, so it's not a delay of game.
Knights just lining up in to take a knee in their formation.
Substitution infraction probably means they had 12 guys in the huddle or 12 players on the field. Jinx under center. He's going to take a knee.
We're getting feedback that the video feed is not good, and I think the reason that would be is because the upload speed, as the guy that's doing all, we're just sitting in on their
equipment. We have nothing
today.
to do with that, unfortunately. And, or fortunately,
if,
I guess.
If you can't see what's going on and the sound's there, you can go over to the RoyalKnightsFootball.com and hear it. But yeah, this is not our video feed. We're just sitting in for the NFHS network. And if the Knights will take the knee and finish this off, we're all tied up at 14. We'll play a little music at the half and come back with some statistics. We got a great semifinal football game going here between the Royal Knights and the Colville Indians. We'll be back shortly. You're watching Royal Knights, or you're watching NFHS Network.
Mud, no problem. Bugs, no problem. Nasty road salt, no problem. Splash and Dash can handle it all. Our amazing features include undercarriage wash, hot wax, clear coat protectant, and 24/7 service. Our floor heat and automatic doors keep us open even on the coldest and snowiest of days. And to top it all off, unlike the Knights, our vacuums suck. We know the road to the dome is a dirty one. Let Splash and Dash be a part of your game plan. Follow us on Facebook at Splash and Dash Car and Truck Wash for special promotional offers. Locally owned and operated, we truly care about our customers.
Get the good stuff at Napa Auto Parts. We know you have a choice of where to go when it comes to get parts and accessories for your vehicle. We appreciate every time you choose Napa. More and more folks just like you are choosing Napa every day. And we like to think there are a couple of pretty good reasons for that, like Napa's quality parts, our national warranty program good at over 6,000 Napa stores, as well as thousands of Napa Auto Care centers. At Napa, you'll find quality, experienced people to help you find everything from which wiper blade or set of brakes is best for your vehicle to the best running board or shocks for your truck, SUV, or car. And when it comes to selection, we've got more different parts and accessories available than any other parts store, period. Go to Napa for quality parts, quality people, huge selection, and the best warranty in the business. Napa.
Napa. Get the good stuff.
Hard work, determination, team spirit. These are all qualities that put a winning team on the field, and the folks at Saddle Mountain Supply know something about a winning team. For over 30 years, Saddle Mountain Supply has worked hard to provide the highest level of service to the local community. They are determined to offer the best quality products at competitive prices, and they boast one of the top teams in the ag industry, ready to offer a helping hand or timely assistance. From bookwork to fieldwork, from accurate applications to reliable recommendations, Saddle Mountain Supply is committed to using the latest in technology and training to attend all your agronomic needs. Check out our website at www.performanceag.com for the latest in industry trends and market prices. Saddle Mountain Supply at performanceag.com. Quality you can count on, performance you...
From the most trusted name in the Columbia Basin comes Callahan Gravel. You'll love Callahan's rock-solid product. Multiple applications include driveways, roads, stackyards, and landscaping. A pothole's worst nightmare. Call Callahan Gravel at 346-2208 to get rocked.
Your day means getting from point A to point B, as in bank or ballet. G for gym, W for work. When what you drive needs tires or service, get to Point S, Tire and Auto, a trusted neighbor with the right tires for how and where you drive, and certified techs to take care of what you drive. So you get to all the points in your day and home again safely. Get to the point. Point S Tire and Auto Service. Experts.
Hey guys, Micah Chen here from Cascadia Preps. Looking for the best coverage of high school football? Cascadia Preps is your #1 stop for all things high school football, team rankings, game analysis, and weekly podcasts from around the state. Visit us today at cascadiapreps.com.
Halftime stats, Mike.
First, I'm going to have you make a prediction.
Make a prediction?
Of my totals of stats here. How many first half yards total for the Indians, and how many first half yards total for the
you're
Knights?
just talking off the top of my head. I'm going to say 250 for each.
250 for each?
Yeah.
You're off by about 100 yards. The Indians have 155 yards of total offense. The Knights have 156 yards of total offense. So the parity there is pretty impressive. Now, how they got that yardage, completely different. Let's talk about the Colville Indians first. They've run 27 running plays versus 8 pass attempts. So that percentage holds true to what we've seen on film, where they want to be about 70% run, 75% run. On the ground, 27 carries for 108 total yards. 11 of those carries went to number 30, Jacob Larson. He's got 53 yards. 6 carries for 15 yards for Michael Eason. And the rushing touchdown of 33 yards gives John Knight 7 carries for 44 yards. The fourth guy to carry the ball is Trevor Morrison. He's got 3 carries, but for a total of -4 yards. Through the air, 3 completions on 8 attempts for 47 yards by the senior John Knight. Those 3 completions to 3 different receivers. The first 2 were on 3rd and long situations that were conversions, 3rd down conversions. Lindquist, number 13, an 8-yard catch, and Kanamu, number 11, a 7-yard catch. And then there was that big 32-yard completion to Jacob Larson over the middle. So that's the net impact, 155 yards. For the Colville Indians. They've got 2 touchdowns. That 33-yard touchdown was their only offensive touchdown, but they also had a kickoff return for a touchdown by Larson for about 75 yards. That was the touchdown that evened this game up at 14 between the 2 teams. The Knights, on the other hand, the bulk of their yardage has been through the air. They've run the ball 8 times, but for only 17 yards. They're only averaging about 2 yards per carry. But 15 of those, was it 15? How many was it? 11 of those, rather, came on 1 carry to Alonzo Hernandez and a touchdown. He has 7 carries for 23 yards, and Jinx got sacked once. That goes against the overall team rushing totals. That was a 6-yard loss. Through the air, 3 completions on 9 attempts for Sawyer Jinx for 139 total yards. He had a 27-yard completion in the face of the blitz. A 30-yard completion to number 27, Tucker Jeanette, in the face of a blitz. But the guy that's done the bulk of the load is Angel Farias. He's got 2 catches for 109 yards and a touchdown. He had the first touchdown for the Knights, a 74-yard play on the second drive of the night. So 3 completions, 9 attempts, 139 yards. The turnover battle has been even, 2 apiece. 2 interceptions thrown by Sawyer Jinx, and the most recent of those was to the big man, number 56, for the Indians on a throwback screen where he reached out and grabbed it. That's Newsom. Turnovers for the Indians, a fumble early, which allowed that touchdown run by Alonzo Hernandez, and then a nice interception to stave off the Indians in the red zone by number 16, Tyler Allred, for the Knights. But about a minute and a half left on the clock as both teams are warming up, and getting ready to do battle here in the second half, as this game essentially is we're essentially starting a new game here. I'm not sure that either of the teams necessarily has the momentum coming out in the second half. Two things to look for. The Knights will start with the ball as the Indians receive to start the first half. And if there is a momentum advantage right now, the Knights have not been in close at halftime, and the Indians know that they've competed with the Knights for 2 quarters, and they've got to do it for 2 more quarters. So they've got to have their heads up now and be have that wave of adrenaline that you always have to start the game. They have the advantage of having it again here to start the second half against the Knights, knowing that they have a chance to, some would call, pull off what some would call a major upset. I wouldn't call it a major upset. I would call it probably an upset, but knowing what we know about the Colville Indians and their season and their coaching staff and their community, I think both sides knew that this was going to be a knockdown, drag-out battle to the bitter end. We'll see. We've got 2 more quarters left to play, 24 minutes of game clock to see who's going to win this game and move on to the state championship game next week in the Tacoma Dome and face the winner of the game that's after ours between Newport and
Linden
Christian. Sorry, drawing a blank.
Michelson set to kick off the second half. All tied up at 14. Angel Farias and Tucker Jeanette deep for the Knights. And it's going to come to Angel Farias. And he's going to bring it up this left-hand side. Looking for one man to miss, and he's going to get driven out of bounds right about the 30-yard line as they use the boundary well to contain Angel's speed. Knights will get the ball on their own 30-yard line, going from right to left. The sun getting lower. You're going to see those shadows getting longer on the field. We are aware that the video feed is not the greatest. We don't have, I guess, a lot of good upload bandwidth here at this field, but it's out of our control. We're just the voice going on here. Knights will send 2 receivers wide to the right. Jenks in shotgun will give to Hernandez as he stops across the middle, and they plug up that middle pretty darn good, and he's stopped for no gain. 2nd down and 10.
Take that back. They're going to give him 1 yard. We're going to give him 1 yard.
Actually, they bring it out all the way to the 32. Yeah, a 2-yard gain.
Almost 2 yards.
They accounted for, I guess, forward motion on the last little push.
Jack Diaz, tight end, comes out of the game. Puts an extra receiver in for the Knights. It's going to be 2 wide to the right, 1 to the left.
Jenks takes the shotgun snap, and the ball's knocked out of his hands and thrown up in the air, and it's going to be an interception. As it's actually knocked out of his hand as he throws it, the ball flies up in the air, and
whether it's a fumble or an interception, it doesn't matter.
Skirko gets the ball, and the Indians are going to get the ball deep in Knights territory in the 23-yard line for the big first turnover of this second half.
Yeah, it's been a impact of turnovers for sure. So thus point to this game, and the Knights defense is going to have to come up strong here to prevent the Indians from taking the lead. We'll see if they try to throw the ball here on the sudden change.
Knight under center gives to Larson that quick toss, and he's going to get down inside the 20. Down about the 18-yard line. 4-yard gain, 2nd down and 6.
Javier Hutron again on the stop.
They'll spread the field a little bit.
Larson going to meet a pistol with Michael Eason in behind him.
Play action him. They give to that crossing back, Larson, and he's going to get forward enough, I'm sure, for a first down near the across the 15, inside the 15-yard line. First and
going to be a 7-yard gain.
Yeah, it's going to be about on. I can't see what line it's quite on, but
they're going to say the 11.
The 11-yard line, 1st and 10 at the Knight 11.
Hold on to that ball.
On the one offensive touchdown that the Indians have, it was Knight keeping the ball.
Quick pitch. They just follow that big line, and they bull their way down inside the 5.
Ball goes from the 11 to the 4, another 7-yard gain. 14 carries for 71 yards for Larson. As we're early in the third quarter, Indians trying to benefit off of a turnover.
Knight under center, quick pitch again. Larson turns up. He's going to get cut down just a little bit short, right about the 1-yard line. But it's going to be a first down, it looks like, as the yard markers get dropped. And we're going to have 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Here we go, punch it in. Let's go, Jacob.
They're going to, quarterbacks keeps it. I don't see a signal yet, so they might not. They're going to say he didn't get in. Stops him short.
He tried to find a gap to lean that ball forward and wasn't able to find it.
So the ball just right on the goal line. 2nd down and goal. And you would think they got the horses to push this in.
Well, plus they got 3 shots at it. There's some movement on the left side of the offensive line for the Indians.
That's going to
So
move
instead
it
of
back.
2nd and goal from the 1, they'll have 2nd and goal from the 6. Still manageable, but certainly
different.
A frustration to Coach Cornwell and his coaching staff, as they're going to have to change up that play call. They're not going to be able to just cram a sneak in here. And in fact, they're going to bring Morrison out and put Kanamu in. So 2nd down and 6. We'll see if they keep the ball on the ground or they try to do something a little more fancy here with a couple other downs if they don't get it here on 2nd down.
Knight's going to stay in shotgun. Michelizan to his right. He's going to keep it. He's going to get caught by Javier Hutron and brought down.
Yeah, he's going to get hit initially in the backfield. Does he fall forward and get back to the line of scrimmage is the question.
A little bit of a loss. 3rd down and goal. The ball on about the 6 or 7.
It'll be a loss of 2.
Ball on the 7. 3rd down. This time, Knight under center. Motion.
Short toss to Larson.
He's not going to get in. He's going to get stopped. So we're going to have a 4th down and goal from about the 5-yard line.
Let's go, Lucas!
They're going to go for, or at least they're going to line up for a field goal attempt to go for the lead.
Was that Larson on the carry that
Larson
time?
was on the carry, yes, for about 2 yards.
Let's go, Lucas!
Lucas Michelson from the right hash.
Trying to give the Indians the lead here early in the 3rd quarter.
Good snap. Down and up and good.
Yeah.
6:57 left to go in the 3rd quarter. They get 3 points out of that turnover. Go ahead on the Knights by a score of 17-14. You're watching the NFHS Network.
Hard work, determination, team spirit. These are all qualities that put a winning team on the field. And the folks at Saddle Mountain Supply know something about a winning team. For over 30 years, Saddle Mountain Supply has worked hard to provide the highest level of service to the local community. They are determined to offer the best quality products at competitive prices. And they boast one of the top teams in the ag industry, ready to offer a helping hand or timely assistance. From bookwork to fieldwork, from accurate applications to reliable recommendations, Saddle Mountain Supply is committed to using the latest in technology and training to attend all your agronomic needs. Check out our website at www.performanceag.com for the latest in industry trends and market prices. Saddle Mountain Supply at performanceag.com. Quality you can count on, performance you can plan on.
Well, the first time all season that the Knights have been trailing in a game in the second half. 5 minutes gone by in the 3rd quarter. The Knights trail the Colville Indians by a score of 17-14.
Good deep kick. It's going to get taken by Tucker Jeanette right up the center of the field. He's going to break out to this far side. Gets through a few tacklers all the way out to the 30. So he does a pretty good job taking it inside the 10 all the way out to the 30-yard line.
Angel Farias a little frustrated. He wants to get to that ball. He tried to get to that ball before Tucker did. And Tucker has a nice return there. Probably one or two men away from breaking something big. The ball's going to be spotted right at the 30-yard line for the Knights. First possession of the second half for the Knights. I don't know if you'd officially call that a fumble or an interception. The ball gets knocked loose from Sawyer Jinks and caught while it's still in the air by the Indians.
Jinks in shotgun looks to throw quick on that right side on the slant and comes out of the hands of his intended receiver, Gage Christensen.
That's one you just got to have on that slant or the chance to get the ball up the seam and get some big yards out of it. Got to secure those.
Incomplete, second down and 10. 6:45 left to go in the third quarter.
Jinks gets the play call from the sideline into the huddle and out fairly quickly.
I see Leighton Bateman in the game at left tackle, who wasn't in last week. Didn't even notice if he's been playing as the handoff goes to Alonzo Hernandez. He breaks to the outside.
Running strong.
Free out to the midfield. Going to get brought down just short of midfield, about the 48, 49-yard line. Big, hard run. They're going to mark it at the 48. And the Knights will get a first and 10 from their own 48-yard line. Good, hard run.
18-yard gain, the biggest run on the ground for the Knights today. Quickly gets a first down on one play. And trying to respond after the Indians take the lead.
Two receivers near side.
Nice to get the running game cranked up. That really opens up the offense.
Play action. Throw down the middle of the field. Angel Farias is there. Caught. Can they catch him? 10, 5, touchdown. Angel Farias.
52 yards.
Good touch by the quarterback, Jinks, on that throw. Now, if you're not hearing this, I know the video's not very good, but the sun is low and just dead in his eyes. And I think it's much harder for him to find where his receivers are than those receivers to catch. And he did a great job. Nice touch pass, right on the money.
Couple things that does. It puts Sawyer Jinks over 2,500 yards of passing on the season. It puts Angel Farias over 1,000 yards receiving on the season. And most importantly, it gives the Knights the lead.
And Guerrero kicks the extra point up and signaled good. 6:07 left to go in the third quarter. Knights pull ahead by a score of 21-17 over the Colville Indians. You're watching the NFHS Network.
From the most trusted name in the Columbia Basin comes Callahan Gravel. You'll love Callahan's rock-solid product. Multiple applications include driveways, roads, stackyards, and landscaping. A pothole's worst nightmare. Call Callahan Gravel at 346-2208 to get rocked.
Hey guys, Micah Chen here from Cascadia Preps. Looking for the best coverage of high school football? Cascadia Preps is your #1 stop for all things high school football, team rankings, game analysis, and weekly podcasts from around the state. Visit us today at cascadiapreps.com.
So we'll see if the Knights kick it high and long on this kickoff as the last time they kicked off.
Yeah, that was just a two-play drive for the Knights. The first big run, 18-yard run. Oh, it's a high kick. It's going to hit the ground.
Watch out.
Somebody's going to have to cover it. It's going to be good field position for the Indians as it looks like they do cover it.
But it's on the 35-yard line. I don't think they intended it to be that short.
No, I don't think so
the
either.
Knights could have got a big opportunity there as the Indians didn't quite cover that, as they, I'm sure their coaches wanted them to.
Again, two-play drive for the Knights. A 18-yard carry by Alonzo Hernandez to get the ball out to the 48-yard line of the Knights, and then a 52-yard pass and catch from Sawyer Jinks to Angel Farias. Angel Farias has 3 catches, 161 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Knight in that pistol formation. They give on the end around that buck.
There
no, he
should
still
be a
has
hold.
it as
No,
they
they're not
throw
going to
it,
call that
and
hold.
it's going to go over the head of his intended receiver, and they don't call the hold. and they have the buck sweep, and we have somebody hurt here. Is that Michael?
I'm not sure if it was Perez? or Ellis, who was coming on the left side to put pressure on Knight.
Oh,
and
this is
the lineman.
Hutron? This is Hutron coming up a little bit gimpy on that play.
Lineman reached out and grabbed a hold of his arm and yanked him down, but the officials don't see it. It is an incomplete pass as Knight tries to throw the ball back against the grain from the right side of the field back over to the left side of the field. Going to be incomplete pass, bring up 2nd down and 10.
I almost feel like that's maybe a cramp, Javier, the way he's reacting to that. So we shall see if he returns to the game.
Micah Albert is going to jump in his spot. Micah Albert, the starting center on offense, but a guy very capable on the defensive side.
Knight and pistol. They give up the middle, and he's cut down. Was he still on his... No, they say Knights have the ball.
Is that the case?
Well,
We're going to see what the ruling is.
Call. They don't know what to call.
Diaz has the ball in hand.
They're discussing it at midfield.
Diaz thinks he rips the ball out of the running back's hand, but I don't think that that's the call they're going to give. They're going to say it's third down.
Third down.
They're going to say a short gain. Was that Larson on the carry?
It was the up back. I don't know if that was
Michael
Izen or if Larson was sitting back as he was in that pistol. Usually it's Michael Izen behind Knight in that pistol formation.
It's going to be a 1-yard gain.
And a big sigh of relief from the Colville fans here on this side.
Absolutely. That would have been a huge momentum changer. 3rd down and 9, throwing situation here for the Indians. See if the back end of the Knights defense can hold the point.
Knight looks to throw, does across the middle, and it's high, knocked down. A couple shots for the Knights had at it, but they knocked it down. Falls incomplete, leaves a 4th down and long, as it appears that the punt team is shuffling onto the field.
I'm going to say that there was confusion in the route tree there for the Indians, as they had both Morrison and Larson in the same area. Typically, that's not the way the play is designed, because it makes it too easy for the defense to cover. You potentially have one guy cover 2 in that situation. A lot of traffic over the middle of the field. It looked like maybe a Knight was the one that had a better chance at it than either of the Indian receivers. As it is, it falls to the turf, and we're going to have a punt by Michael Izen.
Good high kick.
Over the head of Angel
Really
Farias.
Good kick, but it takes a real good Knight bounce, gets back on the 20. So what could have been really bad for the Knights right there is a good long kick over the head of Angel Farias is going to stick in the ground like a par 3 chip shot. Stays right on the 20-yard line. Knights get the ball. 1st and 10 from their own 20. 5:11 left to go in the 3rd quarter with a 21-17 lead.
Well, my personal impression is that 4 points is not going to be enough to win this game.
Jenks in shotgun. The give to Hernandez up the middle. Breaks to the right. Steps to the left. Good hard run across the 25 out to the 27-yard line.
We've talked about Hernandez. He's a guy that gets stronger as the game goes on. The first 4 carries of the game, he had a total of negative yards. And ever since that point, he seemed to have gotten some momentum going. Probably the blocking scheme for the line has sharpened up a little bit, but he picks up 8 yards on that one. He's averaging
gain.
about 5 yards per carry right now for the Knights, as the ball's going to be on the right hash. 2nd down and short, which opens up the entire playbook for the Knights.
But they'll give it to Hernandez up the middle, and he rumbles left and right across the 30. I think that's going to be enough for a 1st down as they secure a 1st down run.
I think the Knights
want the 32.
I think the Knights want Alonzo to get rolling right now.
They'll place it. We'll call it the 31 because it's not too. It's right between the 31 and 32-yard line.
He needed to pick up 2, and he picked up about 4. Ball stays on the right hash. Jenks is going to stay in shotgun. 2 receivers to his left with Angel Farias to the right. They've got a safety over there keeping an eye on Farias.
Shotgun
Sawyer's
snap.
looking to the left instead. He's
Throws
going to throw to Tyler Allred.
Just over the intended receiver, Tyler Allred. Falls incomplete. Pretty good tight coverage by Trevor Morrison on coverage. Bring up 2nd down and 10.
Morrison, an outside linebacker, 170-pounder. He's the 2nd guy on this roster that's also a wrestling state champion. And He typically, the Knights force him back into coverage, but he does a pretty good job. Ball's a little bit overthrown, but the coverage wasn't bad.
Jenks in shotgun. Gives to Hernandez. He avoids the first tackler, but he's going to get bottled up right about the line of scrimmage for no gain, as he had to step to the side to avoid that first tackler in the backfield.
He's going to pick up a couple yards.
Short gain, a third down and about 9.
Newsom on that left side for the Indians has just been a guy that's almost impossible to move. Four-man defensive front consistently for the Indians.
Knights will send 3 receivers near side to the left.
Passing situation.
Jakes, play action, pulls the ball up quick, and it comes off the hands of the intended receiver on that quick hit screen. It was covered pretty well as number.
It was covered pretty well, but
63.
but as we've seen already, certain guys in open space with the ball in their hands are dangerous no matter who's in front of them. And so that was a situation where the Knights coaching staff trying to get the ball into Frias' hands. He's been the big playmaker for the Knights. He's not able to come up with it. Perez back to punt again.
Whoa! And he had to double clutch it, and it got blocked. The Knights can pick that up and run with it if they can. And they can. Here he is. Michael Perez is going to get brought down by number 44, Skirko. But he had to double clutch that, and that I might have been Skirko that got in there and got the block.
I'm not sure who got to it initially. Skirko comes up a little bit lame after tackling Perez. Perez, not your average punter. He's also a defensive tackle, but a little hesitation there allows that punt to be blocked. And it's going to be the Indians' ball deep into Knight territory on about only the 32-yard line.
They're treating him that's like a cramp, as these kids are playing hard out there deep in the season. While they tend to him, I think they're going to get him stood up, so we'll just stay right here.
Yeah, he's right on the sideline as it is, so play will resume as soon as he can get to his feet and make his way off the field.
The Knights needing that punt for field position, got it blocked.
Yeah, they did chew some clock. They chewed about 3 minutes a little over 3 minutes of clock on that drive. And a good punt would have been helpful for the Knights as far as being able to keep the Indians pinned back and making them earn and force their way down the field to take the lead. As it is going to be great field position for the Indians. Maybe it's more than a cramp.
Yeah, I don't know. But he's just sitting on the edge of the field. So if we were somewhere in the middle of the season, they're going to get him stood up now.
There we go.
I still think it's more of a cramp than anything else, but
fairly cautious at this point. He walks off on his own power. He's going to come over to the bench. Get a drink of water from his teammates. And the offense for the Indians is going to be out on the field. They've got 32 yards of ground to cover in order to take the lead away from the Knights. They trail 21-17 with 3 minutes and 6 seconds left in the third quarter. Ball's on the right hash.
Motion across the backfield by Larson, and Knight's going to keep it, and he's not going to get much, maybe about a yard. To the 30-yard line, second down and 9. Even short. Almost a no gain on that play.
That's 10 carries for Knight, second leading rusher, after Larson with 16 carries and 76 yards. Tight formation again for the Indians.
Knight under center.
Tight toss.
Quick pitch to Larson. He's
going to get
bottled up. He's going to get
It's going to be a loss. It's going to credit to Michael Perez as he gets back there and shoves Larson back, waits for the rest of the Knights to come help him, and they bring him down for a loss.
Lorenzo Myrick and Owen Ellis in there to finish him off with Michael Perez for a good 2-yard loss. It'll be third down and near 11.
4-down territory, you got to believe.
Absolutely.
Here for the Indians with 2 minutes left in the third quarter and trailing the Knights by 4 points. Open formation here for the Indians.
Colville.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right.
Spreads as Knight looks to throw, steps up in the pocket, throws it long, turn around, and wow! that just went barely through the hands of number 16, Tyler Allred. I thought he was going to pick it, and the pass is complete to number 11, Chase Kanamu, and the Indians get 6 on the board. Boy, that was just real close. That was 33. Real close to going the other way.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 catches for 40 yards for Kanamu. 33-yard touchdown catch. That was a ball that was thrown in a situation where, like you said, it was kind of up for grabs. And Kanamu just outplays Allred.
Extra point is good. Minute 41 left to go in the third quarter. Colville Indians pull ahead of the Royal Knights by a score of 24-21. You're watching the NFHS Network.
My name is Chris Culbertson. I own Colby's Greenhouse. We grow 3 to 4 million plants a year. We put 1 million miles a year on our rigs. We service a dozen farm vehicles. I've been a good Napa customer. This is the first business truck that I ever bought, so it's had a lot of Napa parts. One thing I like about my local Napa store, I just call them up and say, hey, they know who I am. I would recommend that anyone shop at Napa. Great prices, great availability, excellent warranty. Napa's the one for us.
Napa, get the good stuff.
Minute 41 left to go in the third quarter. Knights trailing the Colville Indians by a score of 24-21.
Heavyweight battle here. Just when you think one team's maybe going to seize some momentum, the other team comes back with a gut shot and an uppercut to get right back in the fight. Again, Farias and Jeanette back deep to receive. Michelson to kick off.
Good driving kick. Jeanette has to go over his head. He has to pick it up. Now he's going to roll up the center of the field. Steps over the first tackler. Is going to meet the next one. He's not going to get back to the 20-yard line. So the Knights will have their possession here start about on. We'll just have to see where they mark it.
Definitely have their work cut out for them here with a minute and 31 seconds left in the third quarter, trailing 24-21 to the Northeast A-League champion Colville Indians.
You know, there's a lot of people talking in hushed tones, fans and whatnot, that they felt like this is the heavyweight battle, the knockout, you know, the de facto championship game on this east side, and it's turning into that kind of a battle as Jenks will take that shotgun snap. Looks to throw, steps up to avoid pressure. Now he's flushed out to the right, lets that ball go, and is caught.
That's they're going to say incomplete.
They're going to say it hit the ground as Jack Diaz looked like he might have caught that and went to the turf, but did a great acting job for me anyway. The side judge, who's a lot closer than me, said it hit the turf. Incomplete. Second down and 10.
Now, the Knights need to stick with their offensive game plan. They're down by 3, and there's still plenty of time left. They need to stick with their offensive game plan. Second down and 10. We'll see if they continue to put the ball in the air or if they try to pick up some yards on the ground here.
To give to Hernandez, and he gets tripped up right at the last second. And I think that's big number 56, Jacob Newsom, who gets in there and causes a lot of trouble. Actually, that was 66 that got his big paw on him.
Dots, Jory Dots, 290-pounder. Just a 1-yard gain.
Third down and 9 coming up. Knights will spread the field. 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver up top the right. Tight end on the right side. Jenks in shotgun. Will play action to Hernandez. Rolls out to his right, and it's caught by Tyler Allred out about the 25-yard line. They're actually going to give him even to the 26. It's going to be real close. We'll see where they mark it. It's going to come up just short. 4th down and very short.
8-yard gain.
Knights
first completion
gonna go for
Tyler
it here.
Allred. Going to get Jory Dots, the 290-pounder, back in the game at nose tackle if the Knights are going to go for it here.
We'll see if they actually do on a long count. And we're going to have a timeout called. Timeout on this 4th and short. We'll take one as well. Actually, that's not a timeout. That's a third quarter. Third quarter ends with the Knights trailing the Colville Indians by a score of 24-21. You're watching the NFHS Network.
At Napa Auto Parts, we know that trucks are as varied as their owners, from small imports and full-size pickups to vans large and small, even bigger rigs. If you own a truck, Napa has more of what you need than anybody. So no matter what truck you drive, we've got the part or accessory for you. Well, almost every truck. At Napa Auto Parts, you'll find the largest selection of different parts and accessories available anywhere, and the most knowledgeable people in the business. Great products, great prices, and great people. That's Napa.
It's your family road trip, your limousine, your business. It's what you drive. Take care of it at Point S Tire and Auto Service for tires and expert service you can trust. Get to the point. Point S, expert service guaranteed.
Fourth quarter begins with the Knights trailing 24-21 with a 4th and very, very short on their own 26-yard line.
Yeah, from deep in their own territory.
Jenks, under center, is going to give to Hernandez, and he's going to make it out to the 30-yard line and gets over the left side of that line.
He needed 1 yard, and he's going to pick up 4.
So my heart can fall back into my chest.
Mine can't. Oh, my goodness.
No, I mean as far as just that play, because
Sure.
they're deep in their own territory with a 3-point deficit. Gutsy call, going for it on 4th down.
Knights have had some big plays, but really haven't found rhythm like they would hope to.
Play action to Hernandez. Throws on that right side. Out of the hands.
Oh,
and
my
in
God.
the hands of number 6. And we're going to have a pick 6 on the tip interception.
By
And a
Trevor
big, big
Morrison,
play.
number 6. It goes off the hands of Owen Ellis, and Morrison's right there to take advantage of it. He catches it and runs right past Ellis. Nobody else between him and the end zone from about 25, 30 yards out.
Boy, with the conditions that we have here today, I wouldn't have expected as many turnovers as we've had between both teams. But that's what we've got as they're about to.
It's been pretty much only the Knights with turnovers here in the second half, as there's been 2 more interceptions thrown. That's 4 interceptions total on the day for Sawyer Jinks. Came into the game with only 3 for the entire season. And the Knights are going to have to find out really what they're made of right here, as they're going to have to come out strong and use time wisely, as they're going to trail the Colville Indians
by 2 scores. At least a score and a field goal.
I think we're going to have a unsportsmanlike excessive celebration penalty on the Indians. So on the kickoff, they'll kick from 15 yards farther back, which could be significant. But right now, the Indians are less worried about the penalty and more excited about the fact that they just took a 2-score lead over the Royal Knights.
Extra point is up and signals good. 11:25 left to go in this game. Colville pulls ahead by a score of 31-21. You're watching the NFHS Network.
From the most trusted name in the Columbia Basin comes Callahan Gravel. You'll love Callahan's rock-solid product. Multiple applications include driveways, roads, stackyards, and landscaping. A pothole's worst nightmare. Call Callahan Gravel at 346-2208 to get rocked.
Knights have their workout cut out for them with a 10-point deficit.
From our angle, it's hard to tell if that ball was thrown a little bit behind Ellis or if it just tipped off his hands.
But it went right through his hands on a dime, right to the defensive back Morrison.
They're going to move the ball instead of kicking off from the 40 as usual. They'll move it back to the 25-yard line because of the 15-yard penalty, unsportsmanlike for excessive celebration. That'll move the Knights' return men up to about the 20-yard line. Still Angel Farias, Tucker Jeanette back there to return with Michelson set to kick. A good return here for the Knights would do them well. If they could get good field position here and not have to use a lot of clock.
Driving kick's going to get bounced in front. Farias is going to have to jump on it, and he's going to cover it right on his own 39, 40-yard line as that kick came up just a little bit short. And number 4, Spencer Fox, on good coverage.
So the Knights will have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Ball on the right hash. 11 minutes and 22 seconds left in the game, and they trail the Colville Indians by a score of 31-21 as the Indians have taken advantage of turnovers and opportunities.
Block punts.
And to get this lead, well deserved.
3 receivers wide to the left. Jenks in shotgun. The give to Hernandez. Follows that cross on the right side, and there's when they try to run that counter, there's just a big bottleneck of bodies all over the place. The Knights not going to get any yardage. They might give him up.
They're going to give
him 1 yard on a short carry for 2nd down and 9.
Hernandez really just needs a bit of a seam in order to pick up pretty significant yardage. But that defensive front for the Indians has been tough.
Knights again spread the field. Jenks in shotgun. No play action. Just looks to throw across the middle, and it's knocked down by big number 66, Jory Dotz. Ball falls incomplete. Bring up 3rd down and 9.
He's timing that. He's standing out there and timing that. He's already 6'5" with a wingspan that probably puts him up, closer to, 8.5, 9 feet, something like that. And then he jumps on top of it and timed that really well and knocked that ball out of the air. 3rd down and 9 now for the Knights.
Knights tight triplets formation on the right side of the line. Play action to Hernandez. Blocks well. It's down this far side. Angel Farias is there. He makes a great catch.
Inside the 20 down to about the 15.
Wow. What a fantastic catch that the Knights needed at that point to get some life and to get the ball down deep into Colville territory. What a great catch. Angel's been accounted for the last 3 weeks heavily.
They're going to spot it to the 13. So that's going to be 47 yards.
Ball's on the near hash. Short side of the field to the right. Knights will send 3 receivers wide to the left side of the field as Jenks stays in shotgun. Will give to Hernandez. He makes that split. He's up the middle, and it's going to be a touchdown. Alonzo Hernandez. So the Knights very quickly put a 6 on the board as they were down by 10 points. 10-10 left to go in this game as the Knights return fire.
Yeah, and didn't use much clock doing it, which is really the best case scenario for them, as they don't have a lot of clock to give, and they know that the Indians can chew a lot of clock with their offense.
Tyler Allred on the hold. The kick is up and good. As I said, 10-10 left to go in this game. Knights 27. Colville 31. I think that's right. Is it 27 or 28? Excuse me, it's 28. 31-28, Colville leads. You're watching the NFHS Network.
Your day means getting from point A to point B, as in bank or ballet. G for gym, W for work. When what you drive needs tires or service, get to Point S, Tire and Auto. A trusted neighbor with the right tires for how and where you drive, and certified techs to take care of what you drive. So you get to all the points in your day and home again safely. Get to the point. Point S Tire and Auto Service. Expert service guaranteed.
Guerrero set the kick with Kanamu and Larson deep for the Indians.
10 minutes left in the game. Still anybody's ball game. That was the best case scenario for the Knights, being down 10 to score so quickly on that big pass play to Farias, and then a 13-yard run for Hernandez for his second rushing touchdown. Used very, very little clock. They still trail by 3, and the Indians will have the ball with a
deep
chance.
Driving kick all the way inside the 10, inside the 5. Brought up the middle. Makes a few men miss, but he's going to get out to just across the 20 out to about the 24-yard line as the Knights are able to contain Larson.
Yeah, he got loose once, and the Knights had to pay by giving up a touchdown. Without that, they'd have the lead right now.
Yep. So 1st and 10 for the Colville Indians on their own 24-yard line. Ball on the far hash.
Indians have 2 goals right now. 2 goals. Number 1 goal, chew as much clock as humanly possible. Number 2 goal,
score.
Put some points on the board.
Knight will hand off to Michael Eason.
He's hit initially at the line of scrimmage, bounces off to his right.
Good balance. For about a 2-yard gain, 2nd down and 8.
That's his 8th carry. He's got 18 yards rushing. And he's a guy that it doesn't necessarily get a lot of yardage, but he sets a lot of things up. Those plays set a lot of things up here. 2nd down and long with Knight under center. Tight formation with just one receiver out to the right.
Motion in the backfield.
Tight toss.
They're going to give it to the up guy. And he's going to get stopped. Maybe a couple yard gain. We'll see where they mark it, but the Knights cover that well. And that's some good sportsmanship being shown between Alonso Hernandez and I want to say that's number...
Is that 25 again? And he just picks up 1 yard on that one. 3rd down and 7 now for the Indians. Indians wanting to get the 1st down and keep the drive going and keep chewing clock. The Knights want to get the stop here and get the ball back with enough time to operate.
Knight has Mickelson to his right. Will fake to him. He still has the ball thrown across the middle. Oh, boy, just about picked off by Angel Farias, who wants that one back as it went right through his hands.
Intended for Kanamu.
And incomplete, though.
Coverage was good, and Angel Farias was free. He didn't have a man to cover, so he read the play and tried to step over from the opposite side of the field and step in front. The ball was thrown a little bit to his back shoulder even, and he wasn't able to come up with the interception. That would have been huge.
Boys, however this game goes at the end score, it's going to be about turnovers and missed opportunities by 2 teams just duking it out.
Angel's going to try to get a good kick return instead to make up for that missed interception as he's back for the Knights to return this punt.
Whoa, and that was close.
Good high
punt.
Gets
away. Caught right about his own 42. Coming around this right side. Tries to stiff arm the first man, but he's not going to get quite to midfield as he'll get the ball to his own 49-yard line.
Does a good job, but Kanamu gets there first, and then number 44, Skirko, also joins in to bring him down for about a 2 or 3 yard gain. Ball's going to be on the 49-yard line of the Knights on their own right hash. 8 minutes and 29 seconds left in the game, trailing by 3 are the Royal Knights.
High school football, Mike.
Greatest thing in the world.
2 receivers off to the left. Jenks in shotgun. Hernandez to his right. They will give to him. He cuts the... Oh, he wants to go inside, but he cuts outside. He's still on his feet across midfield.
Oh, no.
And they're going to throw a...
They're going to call that penalty on number 75, Logan Gomez, as he buried his man to the ground. I'm not sure exactly what the call is. I didn't see a hold at the time of the call. Are they saying they didn't let him back up? It was going to be a 1st down gain for Hernandez, but it's going to be a flag against the Knights holding. The holding penalty happened about 3 yards downfield, so it'll be a net penalty against the Knights of about 7 yards, but they can't afford to give up any yardage whatsoever at this point in the game.
Boy, especially when he got down inside near the 35-yard line.
We don't have replay opportunity, obviously, to look at that play, look at that block. And Gomez certainly didn't feel like he was guilty of a hold there, but that's what the official called, and he was looking right at it.
So first down and about 16. .820 left to go in this game. Knights trailing Colville by a score of 31-28. Knights will send two receivers to the left. This time Hernandez is on Jenks' left. Will give to him. Tries to cut through the middle, but the backside comes down and knocks him down. Number 66, Jory Dott, holds him to just a short gain, maybe a yard. Bring up third down and 15. Second down and 15.
Number 12, Tyler Bond, was the guy that got held on the block on the last play and then comes in and helps assist on the tackle on that play. Going to bring up second down and 15 for the Knights. Ball stays on the right hash. Bond's in at linebacker in Panabaker's place, I believe.
Same formation for the Knights. Jenks looks to throw, sprinting out to his left. Does throw, caught by Owen Ellis down near midfield.
But he's only going to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah. So it'll be a third down and about 10.
First catch for Owen Ellis. 5-yard gain. He's been targeted a couple times. Ball moves from the right hash to the left hash. So the wide side of the field is in your main camera view.
Motion across the backfield by Cooper Christensen. Jenks shotgun snap. Throws quickly. Caught by Alonzo Hernandez, who tries to get out of the would-be tackler, but gets down to about the 44-yard line. I think we're going to see the Knights go for it here. It's going to be fourth and about 3.
I like the design of that play, throwing back to the short side to the running back out of the backfield after it had been vacated by Cooper Christensen coming in motion. Ball stays on the left hash. Fourth down and 3 with 6.5 minutes left in the game. Pivotal play here. Not necessarily the defining play, but certainly a play that can make a big impact in the outcome of this game.
And we're going to have a timeout.
Who's going to call the timeout?
We'll take the timeout as well. The timeout's called. Let's see who it's called by.
That's what I was waiting to see.
The Knights did take that timeout. We'll take it as well. 6:23 left to go in the game. Knights trailing 31-28. You're watching the NFHS Network.
Hey guys, Micah Chen here from Cascadia Preps. Looking for the best coverage of high school football? Cascadia Preps is your #1 stop for all things high school football, team rankings, game analysis, and weekly podcasts from around the state. Visit us today at CascadiaPreps.com.
It's your family road trip, your limousine, your business. It's what you drive. Take care of it at Point S Tire and Auto Service for tires and expert service you can trust. Get to the point. Point S, expert service guaranteed.
Fourth down and about 3 for the Knights coming up with 6:23 left to go in this game. Jenks in shotgun. Give to Hernandez on that left side. Puts his shoulder down. He's going to get it. He's going to get it.
I believe he is. We'll see. It's going to be close. It's going to be close.
Boy, and if he gets it, it's going to be all Alonzo. Boy, I don't like that spot. I don't like the spot at all. And they just said it is a first down and move the chains. Woo! That was close.
Huge play. Huge momentum play. 3 yards. 18 carries for 78 yards, so nothing easy. It's interesting. You look at the other side, you look at Jacob Larson, 17 carries for 74 yards, almost identical yards per carry average. Nothing easy for either one of these teams on the ground. Says a lot to their defenses, a lot to their front sevens.
I felt like Alonzo got a lot closer to the 40-yard line than they marked him. But ultimately, they marked it where they did and called it a first down as the Knights will have a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10. Jenks shotgun snap. Pump fake's going to go down that left side, targeting Angel Farias again, and falls incomplete.
A little bit of a glare here, hard to see a little bit, but that's going to be an incomplete.
I just paused a little bit on my call as, as they're those two kids are battling it out down that far side, just waiting to see if a flag would drop out because
if the Knights go on to win this game, there's no doubt who the MVP of the game will be for Royal. Angel Frias has 4 catches for 208 yards and 2 touchdowns. But not enough yet as they trail by 3 here with just under 6 minutes left in the game.
A tight cluster on the right as they collapse that line, and Alonso's going to get across the 40, but not much more. Maybe a 2-yard gain. Bring down another 3rd and long. 3rd and nearly 9.
Again, at this point in the game, you got to figure that for Royal, it's 4-down territory. So they don't have to pick up all 9, but they probably want to pick up at least 5 or 6 of it to give themselves reasonable down and distance opportunity on 4th down. Of course, that being said, of course, they'd rather, score a touchdown here on this play, right? But
nearing 5 minutes left to go in the game. 3 receivers near side to the right.
4-man front. Doesn't look like
low
much
snap.
pressure.
They're going to have to do something with it as Hernandez gets around that left side, and he makes a nothing play turn into something.
He dives forward. We'll see where they mark him out of bounds. As I think he's going to pick up more than we might expect.
Right down there.
Unless he stepped out of bounds before. Yeah, okay. So he's going to pick up
2 yards left.
He's going to pick up about 6 yards on that.
Place it on the 33-yard line. Knights will have a 4th down and a long
again,
one.
The Knights have to convert on 4th down again with 5 minutes left in the game, trailing the Colville Indians by 3. 4th down and 2. Jinxon shotgun with Hernandez to his left.
Keeps the ball. He's going to get it.
That long body, he fakes to Hernandez and then goes off left tackle, falls forward, and it doesn't have to look pretty. Nope, he's up.
Okay.
Somebody else is down for the Knights.
Hernandez.
Frias or Hernandez?
Were both kind of down. I think they were trying to figure out where the... Boy, you telling me? Boy, he looked like he had to get 1.5 yards. It looked to me like he got 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah,
but,
we'll wait and see.
Boy, this could be close. They're going to bring the chains. This could be a big one because this is a 4th down.
I thought he fell forward and had it by at least 1 yard from my perspective, but it's way over on the other side of the field. The Colville Indians fans are hollering short like they're going to have some sort of an impact on the outcome here as the Knights need to pick up.
Boy, look at that.
The nose of the ball to pick up the 1st down.
And they didn't get it. And
wow.
They're going to turn that ball over on downs. That's incredible because, from
it
here,
looked to me like he fell forward and leaned out and picked up
and had the ball out front.
Right.
So it'd be interesting to hear the perspective because it was right in front of the Royal Knight
Not sure
team.
about that.
So they're going to have to do something here to get that ball back with 4:44 left to go in this game, trailing by 3 points.
The Indians just really want to salt this thing away. The Knights have 2 timeouts, and the goal for the Indians will be to run clock. I would imagine maybe even if they get down in 3rd and long situation, they may still run it. So using clock may be the best thing that they could do regardless.
Knight in shotgun. Michael Isen to his right. Will give to him on that left side. Tries to turn up, and he's going to get across the 35 to the 36. Pretty good run. They'll even mark it on the 37-yard line. So a 6-yard gain, 2nd down and 4. Clock running at 4:15. Left to go in this game. Now, is there a field?
Yeah, there is.
There
right
is.
Under
so he's going to take it right down to under 25 as they're going to hit Larson and try to strip that ball out. He's going to get across the 40 near a first down run.
First down.
At the end of the play, he got forward for a couple more.
He needed 4. I think he's going to get 3 of those.
It'll come up just a little bit short. So a 3rd down and very short.
You would think that this would be a situation where you could put Knight under center and have him sneak and pick up those 6 yards. Clock keeps running, 3.5 minutes left. Knight does go under center. He's got an I formation behind him.
They're going to give that quick pitch, and he's going to get forward for a first down.
Yeah.
Out to the 44-yard line.
Tyler Allred is the one that gets him around the knees and twists him and makes him fall to the ground. But he's going to pick up 2 yards, 3 yards on that.
3:10 left to go in this game, and the clock is running.
Knights can't afford to give up first downs at this point. Probably one more first down might spell doom for the Knights, as the Indians are doing their best to just keep that clock rolling. Knights going to keep watching that play clock and snap it at the last possible second to use as much of that clock as possible.
Larson up the middle has room to run across midfield into Knight territory. Near first down run all the way down to the Knight 47, 46-yard line. He's going to come up just a little bit short, but second down and very short.
Short down and distance situations, just too easy for the Indians. 2.5 minutes left on the clock in the game. The Knights trail by 3. Indians looking to run out the clock and advance to the state championship next weekend in the Tacoma Dome. Winner of this game will have a 10 o'clock game next week in the Tacoma Dome. Both teams know their season on the line.
Knight under center, long count. Quick pitch to Larson.
He's going to get enough for the first down.
Enough for the first down. And a fresh set of downs with 2 minutes left. And the Knights are going to have to start thinking about calling timeouts.
Yeah, they're going to have to start thinking about what they're going to do with timeouts. As the clock stops just to spot the ball, and it starts again, 25 seconds on the play clock, 2 minutes left on the game clock, and ticking down. So there'll be about a minute and a half left when they snap this ball, about a minute and 35 seconds left. Knights really need to get a good stop here and then call a timeout, stop the clock, and give themselves a chance to scheme and come up with a game plan.
Knight will give to that
inside
up back.
Handoff.
Michael Listen, and he just rumbles his way
that
over
offensive
the 40.
line is just churning for their running backs. The Knights are going to have to call the timeout, even though they gave up more yards than they'd like to on that play. 11th carry for Michael Eason. He picks up 7 yards. 11 carries for 32 yards.
Minute 31 left. We're just going to stay here. We're not going to take any breaks as the end of this game is near. The things that are looming right now for the Knights is that kick return and really the fourth down, where the mark was on that. We could probably talk all day about little things that happen here and there that have the Knights in this position and Colville in the position they're in.
Regardless, whoever wins this game absolutely deserved it and won it by beating the other team. Both teams had mistakes. Both teams had things go the way that maybe they didn't expect to go, or some penalties and such that you could argue both ways. But it certainly hasn't been a one-sided affair. And right now, the Colville Indians just trying to use their big line up front and churn out first downs. They've got second down and 3 here, and the Knights only have 1 timeout left. Doing the math, that tells you that if the Indians can pick up a first down here, the Knights won't be able to stop the clock enough to avoid the Indians from running out the clock, barring some sort of a turnover.
Here we go. Knights under center.
With Knight under center.
Quick pitch to Larson, and he's brought down.
Hit early at the line of scrimmage. He's going to be he's probably going to lose a yard.
Even more than a yard. They're marking it back near the 39. Couple yard loss. Bring it back to about a 3rd down and 5, and the clock is stopped.
The Knights call the timeout, I believe. That would be their final timeout. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5.
Do you think it's their final, or is it just their second?
It's their final.
It's their final 3rd timeout. Now, they had to call that one earlier when they had a 4th down.
I wouldn't say that the timeouts have been mismanaged at all. It's just you wish you had extra ones in your back pocket. 3rd down and 5 for the Indians. If they don't pick this up, we'll go to 4th down, and I would guess that they would even take a delay of game and push this back. Maybe they would punt, or maybe they would just try to run a play and use as much clock as they could. But
minute
if they
24.
pick up the first down here, it won't matter, and the Indians will more than likely move on and continue their season and end an undefeated run for the Royal Knights.
Knight under center, straight I formation in the backfield. The give to Larson, and he's going to get
it. He's going to get a loss. The Knights can't call a timeout, but it's going to go to 4th down, and it's going to force the Indians to make a decision whether they're going to run a play. That's another 2-yard loss.
So the difference is 25 seconds versus a minute 8. So we're going to have 35 seconds or so left. Well, a little bit more than that.
My guess is they're going to let the play clock run out or call a timeout with just a second or two left and set up to punt.
We're down to 4, 3, 2, 1, and they're going to
call a timeout with 1 second left. That'll be 44 seconds left on the clock. And the question is, does this mean that the Indians are going to punt, or does this mean that they're going to go for it on 4th down and secure the win? 4th down and 7, ball exactly between the hashes on the 41-yard line of the Knights. And if you love high school football, this has been a game for you. Absolutely, as this has been a battle from start to finish, just like we predicted it would be.
Yep.
With neither team able to exert true dominance. The Indians right now with the edge after stopping the Knights on a 4th and short and being able to run clock here. They've got a 4th down decision to make. And it looks like they're going to send the punter.
Michael Isen is the punter, so...
but is he going to punt, or are they going to try to run a play here and secure the win with a 1st down? Looks like they're going to run a play. Looks like they're going to run a play, and if they can convert, they're going to win this game. If they can't, the Knights will have a chance.
Knight takes the snap, play action. He still has the ball. They're going to throw it up, and it's knocked down by Tyler
There's going to be a penalty flag thrown on the far side, and it's going to be a pass interference call of some sort. If that goes against the Knights, then the game is over. If it's against the Indians, then it will be declined, and the ball will go to the Knights with 37 seconds left on the clock. So I couldn't see anything. I saw where the ball was thrown on this side. I wasn't watching the backside. I don't know that there was a need for pass interference, so it would be odd to me that there would have been a pass interference call that early.
They're discussing it.
And it's going to be against the Knights.
Pass interference on the Knights is what they're going to call.
That's your ball game, folks.
That's it.
That's your ball game. Colville Indians, after that pass interference call, are going to win this game. They'll be able to run out the clock. They're going to advance and represent the Northeast A in the state championship game next weekend. They will stay here and watch this next game after us between the Newport Grizzlies and the Linden Christian Lynx. That's the team that they will play next week when they move on in the state title. So I didn't see that. I'm sure we'll see it on film. There's pass interference call on the back end. Way away. The ball wasn't thrown in that area.
The other side.
Didn't have an impact on the play. You hate to see that be the kind of thing that determines the game, but if it happened, it happened, and the Indians are going to take a knee, and the clock is going to run down. The Knights don't have any timeouts left to stop it. The Indians will have to run one more play likely. If they're going to start the play clock, they're not going to even start the clock. They're not going to even force the Indians to run another play. So they're going to move on. They're going to have a 10-2 record now, and they're going to move on to the state championship game. And they came in here with no fear whatsoever, knowing that if they played well, they would have a great opportunity to achieve their goal, which is exactly what they did. Good sportsmanship now between the two teams. Alonzo Hernandez shaking hands with all those Colville Indian players. Obviously, some disbelief by the Knights and some Indians that are kneeling down and talking to them and trying to be positive with them. The Knights have their win streak broken. They had a 53-game consecutive win streak that is no more, and the Colville Indians come up big and earn this victory against the Knights by a score of 31-28. So call it an upset if you will. But it was a great game, and either team had an opportunity to win coming down the wire, and the Knights just not able to convert on 4th down in Colville territory and allowed the Colville Indians to run out that clock and defeat the Knights and move on.
Well, the Knights season will end here in this semifinal. Congratulations to the Colville Indians, and the streak starts again next year. and we'll be back next year. And thanks for listening on RoyalKnightsFootball.com and also on NFHS Network. See you next year.